Yeah.
Uh,
There we go.
My name is Sweet Peebs, and I'll be your host for this next event. But first, let me tell you about NAMI. NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. Now, what does that mean? Awareness. NAMI participates in nationwide awareness opportunities like Mental Health Month, Suicide Prevention Month, and Mental Illness Awareness Week. NAMI has partnerships with a wide range of companies and organizations that NAMI uses to get their name and mission in front of new audiences. Now, right now, we are coming into SaGa Frontier Remastered, run by Chaos and commentated by FFVD. Let me kick that over to you now.
all right, thank you. So yeah, this is SaGa Frontier Remastered. We're gonna jump right into it. So I'll give a countdown to get the timer going. So we're gonna start 1, 2, 3, go. So for those unfamiliar, this is a game that came out originally for the PlayStation. Quickly put A as my name. Yeah, I don't have a blood type. So this came out for the PlayStation. It's the first entry in the SaGa Frontier series, or the SaGa series for the PlayStation. There's also SaGa Frontier 2. It's the same series as Final Fantasy Legends 1 through 3 and Romancing Saga. So like a lot of the other games in this series, there's multiple scenarios. We're starting out with T260. And we're using a feature that's specific to the remaster. The remaster came out last year, and it added some features and boosted up the graphics, and is overall a really good version of the game. So they didn't really mess anything up with the remaster, so that's good. So we're going to be using a feature called New Game Plus. This isn't a full New Game Plus run because we're not using an existing file. We're starting from New Game. But we'll be carrying over the items and abilities we get from the previous scenarios into the next one. We're going to be doing all 7 scenarios. So that's why this category is called All Scenarios with Carryover. It's not full New Game Plus in that way. So we're going to start out with T260 for a number of reasons that we'll explain as it goes. One of the most important things is he has access to the junk shop really quickly. Gotta volunteer for the arena here. And the junk shop, if you're familiar with SaGa Frontier at all, is pretty broken because there's a glitch that lets you exploit it and get some really good items super early in the game. So we're going to be doing that as quickly as possible. So a feature you might have noticed is that the remaster added 3 times speed, so we'll be using that all the time during battles, and most of the time when we're in the actual overworld. We're going to slow down sometimes if we need to be careful with some encounters, but for the most part, we'll be speeding along. Oh, we gotta keep forgetting to talk to this guy. So right now we're doing some battle arena stuff. This is just to advance the plot mostly and get some initial equipment for T260. And additionally, we get some prize money so that we have more money for the junk shop later on. We're going to fix some of the items we got as part of the arena here. So now that we did 3 arena fights, we can talk to this guy, and this will start the next kind of mini-boss fight. We fight this guy a couple times. He's pretty easy. You start with the HE rocket, which only has 1 shot but does a lot of damage, so you use it first and then switch over to the easy rifle. For some reason that was on punch, though. Oh, I didn't equip the easy rifle. So this might take slightly longer than expected. If I don't die. Okay, I got him.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't use Vulcan all that often, you're good to go.
So yeah, I'll equip that now. So where was that? Repair kit. Oh, yeah, it's called Pendragon in this. So part of the remaster is a lot of the names kind of changed a little bit. But I still sometimes use the old names.
Yeah. They got changed to be in line with the rest of the SaGa remasters.
So being 3x speed, it's sometimes a little difficult to control here. So we're going to slow it down here to avoid some of the encounters. Feels really slow once you go back down to... We'll go back to 3x speed. It's really hard to avoid this fight, so we're just going to take it. And possible to avoid here. The enemies you get here are somewhat random. Tried to get fancy there, but didn't work. And this next screen, we're just going to go for it and hope for the best. Usually run into a couple enemies here. This next fight we can die in if Gen dies really early, if Fat Demon focuses on him.
Gen doesn't die. He uses a pipe for a sword. What do you mean?
Yeah, he actually grabs that pipe from the cutscene. He only has it for this fight, so it's kind of funny. Oh, attacked the wrong guy. That's fine, though. So we'll use the bazooka now. So as you can see, fights kind of go real quickly when it's 3x speed.
They did add running away in the remaster BGG. It was in the original game, but they disabled it in the script. You have to change a couple bytes in the script to re-enable it.
So yeah, we learn about T260's mission a little bit, or we're going out to find about T260's mission since T260 lost all their memory. So we're going on an adventure now. And we're abandoning the kids. But we'll get back to them, so don't worry about that. So if the Fiend Rod dropped, hopefully it did. Okay, good. There's a small chance it won't drop, and it makes the next fight super slow. So the junk shop is in this town. Before we go to the junk shop, though, we need to pick up a little bit more money. So we'll do that now.
Oh, it was very entertaining to watch BGG play this game.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having the Fiend Rod there. You get access to Final Strike, which lets you do a lot of damage, and that one enemy has a good amount of health. So it's
it looks very cool.
Also that. First we gotta buy. So the junk shop glitch, if you're unaware, it's due to the menu for the junk shop or the memory used for the junk shop being the same memory addresses that are used for the buy and sell menu. So we can do stuff in the sell menu here. Specifically, the repair kit, when you select that, it uses a byte in your current money to set the current rank of items you're getting. And the cursor position on the sell menu sets the number of items left for you to get from the junk shop. The junk shop is supposed to be just this simple thing where you're able to get some junky items for T260 to start off his adventure, but because we can use the junk shop glitch, we can actually get access to end game items. So we want to get a bunch of stuff here. One reason to do it as T260 versus the other scenarios is that you don't get junk items, whereas the other ones you have the 50% chance getting junk items every pull. But there's no chance here to get junk items. I think I have 4 Warlord. Yeah, okay. So that's everything we need from that box. The different boxes have different categories of items. So we mainly wanted 4 Warlord's armor because stats for mechs are determined by the equipment they have, so you can really make them busted if you get the right equipment on. So we're gonna throw a bunch of stuff on T260 here.
Yeah, Juno, they kept in all of the glitches from the original game that didn't like directly negatively impact the game. So we'll be seeing a lot of those in this run. Will we be seeing the ingot glitch, or did you change up Asellus? Okay.
Since
okay, cool.
We have everything we need beforehand. Yeah, the only glitch we actually make use of, if I remember correctly, is the junk shop.
Okay.
So here we're already seeing the benefit of getting those late game items. T260 is doing way more damage now and can one-shot Vulcan too. And again, also does a decent amount of damage.
Oh, really, Dragon Lord? That's funny.
So we got to stop in Kurong here to advance the plot a little bit. We got to talk to this monitor and get some infos. Honestly, I've never fully
Hologram
read here. I think
chicken.
it's mostly nonsense. Gives you
It's
some
a lot of
hints.
nonsense, but yeah, it gives you some specific hints on where to go next and some things about the plot, like Leonard beat Edison and the Lork phenomenon, all that stuff. Shotaro Nakajima. It's all boring lore stuff. I won't bore you with it.
Sounds good. Buy some mirror glass. If we didn't get a laser scope from the junk shop, we would have bought one there, but we got one. Shingro. There we go. So next we're going to stop in the ruins as part of the story. We're also going to pick up a dual gun here for additional selling, just mostly for the blue versus Rouge fight. We need just a little bit more money for that. So we're going to go here and just take this encounter to skip a couple screens. And slow down here a little bit. And then speed up here. We'll take this bird fight because we got to dodge it twice, so it just takes too much time to try to dodge it. So hopefully dodge these slimes. We did.
This does have a mobile version, Jade. This remaster is available on Steam, PlayStation 4, Switch, iOS, and Android right now.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the interface, it very much has a touch-friendly interface.
Now, just a minute ago, you did mention blue or Rouge, and that is, of course, a bid war for this game. You can kill either blue or Rouge, and right now, killing blue is at $60, and Rouge is at $20. So get those donations in.
Yeah, and the next scenario we're doing is blue, and a part of that is a duel between blue and Rouge, and who wins the duel determines who you play as for the rest of the scenario. Just like 5 minutes, but still something.
Let's kill Rouge, it's funny.
Yeah, killing Rouge is the more interesting because it's default you die as blue because you start as blue. So next we go to Manhattan. So we got one hint, and we need to get another hint from Leonard here in order to progress the story. But killing blue is faster. So if you're a fan of speed, kill blue. If you want to see something not always seen in the speedrun, kill Rouge. It's not super fast to kill blue because I will be doing some prep anyways to make it so that either way we'll be fine. So it's not super slow to kill Rouge versus dying. So one of the best characters in the game, Engineer Car. You can recruit Engineer Car if you have a robot in your party. So it's always good to pick Engineer Car up.
Engineer Car's the GOAT.
And yeah, pretty much available in any scenario as long as you can recruit another robot. So I think maybe Asellus you can't get him, and maybe Emilia.
Every scenario but Emilia and Asellus, yeah.
Always get caught by that fairy.
That fairy is not fun to dodge.
Oh yeah, I forgot to rescue the mouse first. Doesn't really matter what order we do this in. Alright. And bolt thrower, that's right. Not you.
I do have some donations here.
Oh no,
We have
go on.
a $20 donation. And these are all just very encouraging donations for you. We have a $20 donation from Big Fong Ball. Shout out to the SaGa boys. Wish I could be there. Good luck, Chaos. I can't wait for you to be 70% of the schedule for SaGa 2022.
Sounds good. Okay, the
Thank you,
barrier
Vic.
went away.
And a $10 donation from Arion saying, "Go go Chaos! Good luck and have fun."
So I accidentally gave the skeleton a barrier. Thank you both, by the way. Accidentally made a couple mistakes while that was going on.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault. I had already made a mistake.
There's one last $5 donation from Pork Bob saying, "Wee!" Thank you all so much.
Mrs. Stairs. Alright, that's the only mistake I'll make. so it's all good. And thank you for all the donations and support. So yeah, what happened there is a consequence of using a lightning weapon. I picked the wrong moves to start with, and then because I used a lightning attack, it gave the skeleton a barrier, which prevented future lightning attacks from doing damage, so kind of slowed things down slightly there. But that's okay. And we learn about Leonard dying from that guy randomly. So back to Manhattan.
Here's this cool flying robot dude. Oh, by the way, this mechanic guy that you've been with for half the game is dead now. Good luck.
Basically, yeah. But that's okay. Leonard is now a robot. He implanted his consciousness in this thing with its buggy eyes. And now we're off to another place called Tartarus. Can't remember. It has some secret information about your origins, so we're going here to find out about that.
Tartarus is very important in SaGa Frontier lore.
I'm gonna equip that and that. We want to slow down T260 for a later on thing. Dodges here are kind of tricky, so I'll try to do them, but just kind of run at these first couple ones and hope for the best. The robot movements are somewhat random, so kind of, especially with their staring position, so kind of hope to bait them a little bit. Probably
Yeah,
get
some
caught
of the
by
names
them.
in here are a little odd, but you get used to them after a little bit.
Oh, Dan got caught by that one as well.
But if you don't want to get used to them, I believe there is a mod out for that.
So yeah, turn up to 3 times speed for these 2 screens and then back down. This one screen is a little bit tricky because that robot's actually like a mini boss, which we can't actually fight at the moment. So you also can't run from it, so really don't want to get caught. Lucky there's an autosave feature, so if I do get caught, even if I didn't quick save right beforehand, I can just load up the autosave.
These dodges are fun. I like these dodges.
So each sprite type has its own kind of movement pattern, so you can kind of get used to how they move based on their sprite. What determines how difficult a dodge is usually the sprite type and the width of the corridor you have to dodge in, and if there's a bunch of sprites. Oh, ladder's tricky.
We'll be seeing the hardest of that kind of dodge later on in this run in Red scenario. But luckily we don't have to do any of them thanks to the runaway feature, which is very nice.
Yeah, the runaway feature is perhaps a bit broken, but that's okay.
A little bit.
So we get some more info here, and we learn about the coordinates of HQ, where we might learn more. I don't know if we learn anything of substance or if we just get a bunch of hints for where to go next.
We get hints
Essentially,
that,
we're trying to kill a super virus is the main thing. Oh wait, not yet.
Welcome to the Matrix.
Yeah, and here we're in a virtual world, so we gotta defeat viruses to rebuild the world, so we fight these things to reconstruct the path.
Everyone knows this is how IT works.
Basically. Oh wait, luckily I quick saved. I knew reason I had to quick save there. Gotta switch engineer car back into the main party, because it needs to use him, which we got from the Megatama that we got from Say's tomb with that skeleton fight, which is an attack all attack, so we use that to clear out the viruses. Then we make contact with the core to cure the viruses. So now the place is all good now.
That's exactly how you solve viruses in real life. Just touch your bare CPU. Easy.
So here we have the lights out puzzle. The first one starts with them all out, so it's easy to do. Next is a random start, so we just do the simple heuristic to solve lights out from a random position there, where you just kind of light
Just
the ones that are
wing
up
it.
top and then move downwards. Oh, accidentally talked to this guy. Now that we fixed that, the robots are on our side, so we can go pick up some equipment here.
Basically, what we just learned is there's a super ship on the way that we have to go take care of, because that was our purpose all along. That was our lost directive.
And we now have the Omega body, which is the best robot body T260 can have. You can switch to other bodies at the one place we were at where we got Engineer Car, but there's no point until you get the Omega body. So now we're in the final dungeon, the RB3, which is the super virus / battleship sort of thing.
RB3 standing for Region Buster 3. Music here is very bombastic. They really want you to know that this is the end.
And we'll use the sort feature to bring the armor to the top, because we're equipping a lot of armor to the characters, because robots get a lot of bonus stats from equipping high-level armor.
That's another great feature from the remaster. In the original, you kind of just had all your equipment kind of randomly dispersed about in your inventory, and now you can sort it, which is really nice.
So yeah, kind of switching between fast and slow here to dodge the enemies. Here, I'm just not going to bother. If I get caught, I get caught. You got to dodge them so many times. It's just faster to go fast and hope for the best.
Probably actually better to just clear those guys out.
You just gotta hit the 3 switches here to open the way. And here we gotta do a bunch of fights. They're all the ranks of robots and the regular encounters you gotta go through before you fight the mech god. And you gotta do all these fights. You can't run away, and they're forced.
Yeah.
So
There's 9, right?
yes,
Right.
first 5 you can just do him to clear out all the enemies. The last of the 5 fights, they're pretty fast, so they might outspeed Engineer Car and get a couple hits in, but won't do any real damage. Sometimes I'm going to actually absorb just to recharge the JP on, or WP on Engineer Car, so we can keep doing him.
You just
Yeah, they
learned a mech
outspeed.
sonata. That's funny.
Yeah, it's basically the robot equivalent of what I'm doing now. So for this one, we actually want to use VMAX, which is the special ability you get from the Omega body for T260. It powers him up greatly and gives him access to very powerful attacks called Starlight Shower and Cosmic Rave. We'll see Starlight Shower for the bunch of fights coming up here, and then we'll see Cosmic Rave a little bit later. Switch everyone into the same fight for fights 7 through 9.
So the way VMAX works is it gives T260 a huge stat boost for 5 turns, along with access to Cosmic Rave and Starlight Shower. But then after those 5 turns, you get a huge debuff. So it's worth it to only use VMAX when you absolutely need to.
And we'll be making use of that in the final fight, where if the fight goes 1 turn longer than expected, I'll get a debuff set heavily, so you don't want that to happen.
Fun fact, you can actually use snake oil to reverse that debuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good old snake oil. Yeah, I guess we also use the snake oil overdrive glitch.
Yeah. There's something weird with snake oil removing those kinds of effects. Snake oil is an item that removes all stat debuffs, so like palsy, stone, blind, mess, stuff like that.
So
You can
here's the
buy
Net
them from
God.
the herb store in Kurong, which we'll be seeing later on.
So this is not the final boss, despite being called Net God. We'll see the first use of Cosmic Rave here. It's the single target attack that T260 gets access to, and does hecka damage. We equip Combat Mastery, and we need to absorb to get Tiger Program. Not for this scenario, but later on it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll cover that later. So we're gonna switch up the parties again here. Oh, meant to attack that enemy. So we're gonna, even though it's a single target, I'm gonna throw in Engineer card because he was low on WP, just to recharge that. So I need to kill 10 enemies or 10 fights to get to the next section of this area. And there's 3 sections that are like that, so we need to do a total of 30 fights. So because of that, this is the only scenario where you can reasonably reach rank 3, which will double the health of the final boss, which sounds worse than it actually is. I could have punched there. So that's 4 enemies. So when there's a single encounter, you can just throw in T260 and punch, and it's a bit quicker than using him.
Another neat feature about the remaster is it actually tells you when you're entering the point of no return, like we are right now, and for like T260 scenario, and I believe for Riki's scenario as well, and for Red scenario, it tells you how to do these harder puzzles that the original never really told you how to do.
Yeah, in this game, there's a story menu that tells you essentially what you need to do next to advance the plot, which is a very good thing for SaGa Frontier if anyone's played the original one. The most common thing is, I didn't know what to do, so I kind of stopped playing. So that's the first 10 killed, so we're off to the second area. This next area, you can actually encounter a boss enemy if the sprite randomly changes to the big robot sprite we saw previously. We can kill it at this point using VMAX, but it's kind of a pain. So hopefully we don't see that. So that's 3 enemies here. So we're getting a lot of single encounters. That's good. We can just punch with T260.
You might not actually hit rank 3.
Yeah, it's kind of like from my practice of 50-50, just from random chance of... You can probably cover it better than me. I have no idea how rank works.
So the way battle rank works is if you fight an enemy that's at your current battle rank or higher, you'll gain a battle point. 16 battle points gives you to the next battle rank. There are 9 ranks in total. So the way you can kind of manipulate that, especially in this scenario, is if you fight the same kind of main enemy, so like if you fight those gecko sprites a bunch, then you won't gain any battle points. So we can use that to our advantage to stay below rank 3 just barely.
Yeah, we're now into the third area. This, without speed up, this area takes like 15 minutes. It's really painful, but with the speed up, it's a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
It's just...
At least it looks pretty.
No thoughts. It's kind of the death of commentary, especially in the original, where you have 15 minutes to talk about nothing.
Yeah.
You can cover battle rank maybe in 1 minute, and then it's like, yep, I'm doing a bunch of fights. Not much to see here.
Oh, wow, a cactus. Let's go.
One of the benefits of the remaster, speed up.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see rank 2 enemies, but pretty late, so hopefully it should be fine. It's not a big deal if we get rank 3. It just adds 2 turns.
You're pretty
to the
safely
final
rank
fight.
2, yeah. I don't think you're gonna hit rank 3.
But there is a slight thing where if you get strength down on T260, it might cause you not be able to do enough damage. But it looks like
We can just retry it and not lose
Yeah.
too much time thanks to speed up.
So that's the final security lock disengage. So we're going to throw everyone back to the main party and switch Spirit Orb for Bolt Thrower to get some stats up. Where is the Bolt Thrower? Did I miss it? And on to the final fight of the first scenario. So this is, what is it called? I'm going to call it Genocide Heart. Tyrannical Heart? Heretical Heart? Something
like
it's
that,
called
yeah.
Genocide Heart in the original. It has 3 phases. In between each phase, it does this no future move, no future, which does damage to everybody, then moves on to its next phase. Each phase it has either 5,000 or 10,000 health, depending on the rank. So for rank 2, it has 5,000. We can defeat it in 2 turns here. If it is rank 3, we can defeat it in 3 turns or 4 turns. Repair T260. So Engineer Car is used to repair after the no future attack, and T260 and Leonard are used. Okay, we're rank 2. That's good.
We'll be seeing some more of those name changes in a blue scenario later, Juno.
So now we're going to activate VMAX during the in-between phase here. That's what we just guard. So we now have 5 turns of VMAX before T260 shuts down, essentially. So we're entering phase 2 now. And we'll see the power of Cosmic Rave here. We don't need to do anything with Leonard because of Cosmic Rave, so we'll just repair with Engineer Car and attack with T260.
I should talk about Carnage, yeah. So the way Carnage works is it ignores all defenses, so when it hits, it's doing full damage every single time. It does have a side effect where it can instantly kill you, but if you're a mech, it can't do that. So that's why we're using all mechs here, not just because that they
Humans
can get
are
super powerful
essentially
super
useless
quickly.
in this
Yeah.
fight. So this is
Bye,
phase
Leonard.
3. Oh, I guess
Died a second time.
I guess there's 4 phases to this fight. There's the 3 virtual phases, then the final phase.
Yeah.
So now we're entering the final phase where there's no more protection for the core, so we can do direct damage. And that will kill the Heretical Heart. So that's the first scenario done. Woo! How are we doing on time, by the way?
We are coming up on 31 minutes.
Okay, that's good. That's about the same time I had on my PB, which is also a 2:30, so on track so
Sweet.
far. And we even got
Let's
the duel gun,
go.
which is additional. So next up, we're going to do blue scenario. The order will become extremely obvious on why we're doing this in order. One of the reasons we do T260 first is we can't recruit Rouge, and we want to do the junk shop quick. Next, we really want to do blue because, well, it'll become obvious. So once you complete a scenario, you unlock Fuse, and we'll be making use of that fairly soon, but not quite yet. We'll use autosave for the carryover since it was done right before the actual fighting, and we're going to do blue next. So coming up soon, but not quite yet, will be the incentive of blue versus Rouge. We'll be fighting a couple of fights before the Time Lord, and then I'll warn once the Time Lord is coming up, and we'll cut off the donation incentive once we start the fight with the Time Lord, because the duel will be right after. So if you want to see a magic duel and you want to see blue or Rouge win, blue is our main character right now, and Rouge is the cool one.
Rouge is
and,
the best
get your
one.
donations in. No bias. We'll all agree Rouge is the best by the end of this all scenarios run, though.
Well, we are still at $60 for killing blue and $20 for killing Rouge. So if you want to flip that, go ahead and get those donations in.
Sounds good. So the gimmick of the blue scenario, where do I go next, Kurang? Oh yeah, we actually want to go back there real quick. What's that place called? Devon. Always go there with the region map, so don't actually know what it's called. For the duel, we need the victory rune on blue. It's not something I typically do, but because the duel might go blue's favor, we'll get the victory rune there. So the gimmick of this scenario is that you've got to collect a bunch of magic and then duel your brother, who's also collecting a bunch of magic, your twin brother. So you have to complete either the Rune or Arcane quest, either the Time or Space quest, and what's the other set? Light or Dark quests. So we're going to fake complete those. We're also going to sell the dual gun here. So to get some extra cash. So the first one we're going to fake complete is the rune quest. So we're going to have to make some progress in the rune quest first. So we're going to get the victory rune here in Moo's Tomb. So do some menuing here.
Soul Hunter Valkyrie Profile 2 is going to be after this speedrun, so stay tuned for that. That'll be fun.
So yeah, as we mentioned before, mechs get all of their stats from equipment, so just throw a bunch of equipment on the mechs and they're now basically good to go. Slow down the speed as my cat walks over the keyboard. Go away. I think that messed me up. I'm gonna blame the cat for that one.
Aw, don't blame the cat. He was trying his best. Trying to cheer you on.
Messed up the input, so I ran into an encounter. That's okay. So we're gonna pick up the katana here. It's kind of an unassuming name, just a katana, but it's actually a really good weapon at this stage in the game. It's better than any sword you can get in the junk shop, for instance. So we're just going to run at this pack of enemies. In the regular version, you want to kind of split them up, but you kind of just run into them and hope for the best. We got the worst possible here, where we just ran into all of them, but that's fine. Takes no time. Takes less time doing that.
Say hello to
the original.
everybody.
So we're going to defend for the first turn here. The Skull Drake can't be attacked the first turn.
We're just preparing for the incentive high ones. That way we're prepared for if blue wins or if Rouge wins.
Yeah. Yeah. For the preparation, you get the Victory Rune Katana, and I'm also not going to get the Taute pattern, so we have a bit of additional LP on blue because he can't get outsped the first turn while casting Victory Rune, which can just kill you immediately, so just protection against that.
Gives me time to talk about the duel.
Sure. Otherwise, it's over basically immediately. So because we did one part of the rune quest, next time you fly, you get captured by Tanzer, which is required in the rune quest to get the Freedom Rune? One of the runes.
Vitality Rune.
Vitality, that makes sense.
Yeah. This place is required for Riki's scenario, so we will be returning to Tanzer later on in the run.
So a fun part of blue is that you get the region map, which lets you just exit out without doing Tanzer. This makes the rune quest incompletable. So what you can do is go to Devon and talk to the fortune teller here, and this counts as completing the rune quest because it's uncompletable. Weirdly enough.
Yeah. I like that they fixed that text for canceling the rune quest in the original. It used to kind of overlay itself.
Yeah. So here we're going to buy light magic for blue, not because we're ever going to use it, just to make him unavailable for the shadow quest. And then we're going to buy hide behind for Mei Ling, so she is available for it. And she also needs hide behind for later on, so this kind of accomplishes two things. So this counts as completing the shadow quest, even though blue doesn't actually do anything. So now we just have the time and space one. Oh, we gotta do shopping first here.
Yeah, BGG. There's now a quest log. There's various story hints. There's New Game Plus that carries over quite a bit of stuff. All the hidden stats are now visible. There's better descriptions for everything. There's in-battle descriptions for things. It's really an excellent remaster. And I highly recommend that everyone watching here plays it.
So we went to Kyo to pick up some wing amulets to make my blue faster for the Rouge fight, if it comes to that, to help him be faster than Rouge. So now we're going to do the time quest, so that we'll complete 3 of the required magic quests so that we can go into the final part of the scenario. So we find that time is frozen in the time domain, so we're going to have to find a way to restart time. Which we need to go to Fascinaturu for, because there's an LP shop here. So the LP shop is used for 3 things. Get the Phantasm, to get the sand vessel, which you need to restart time, and to also reduce blue's LP for the duel, because the duel works by LP damage, so it's unique in all the fights. That's not the right one. There we go. So we want to reduce blue's LP as much as possible and make the fight faster, but we want a bit more LP than 1 because we might want to win with blue, so we don't get the Tao Tai pattern, which would reduce his LP to 1 normally. So
yeah, that is true. Akitoshi Kawazu, and I believe Masanori Ichikawa as well confirmed that they will be bringing the entire SaGa library forward. So look forward to some more remasters in the next couple years here.
So we'll throw the Phantasm on T260. We'll see how good that is soon. Warlord's Armor is one of the best items you can get from the junk shop because it boosts your vitality and strength, which are the 2 most important stats for physical damage. Where's my bolt thrower? There it is.
Peebs, you can read off some sedations real quick.
Yeah.
All right, I do have some ready for you. We have $10 from Palmer, who says, with the restreams included, there are nearly 14,000 people watching SaGa Frontier. I am overwhelmed with guilt. 25.
Took me a second.
$25 from Plush Mayhem. SaGa Frontier. Thanks so much for running my favorite game. Please run it again at RPGLB so I can actually have time to make prizes for it, though. Thanks in advance. Money to Killing Blue.
We'll do our best, Tiff.
It's time to cut that off.
All right.
And Phantasm I'm using, it's Azure from the original game. It has a special property where if you get a physical attack before you attack, you get an additional super powerful attack called Warring Phantasm, and we got it a couple times during that fight, so it made it go a bit quicker. Use the robots in that fight just because they're very survivable with all the equipment they have on, so you don't have any real worry about dying in that fight. So now it's time for the duel, so do we know what the winner is?
Yes, the winner is... Oh, wow, actually, it just now updated. $70 for killing Rouge, only $60 for killing Blue, so you are killing Rouge.
Nice.
Ooh.
Wow.
This will be fun.
Very last minute.
All right, so we gotta get set up for that then. For Cyber Suit, makes you super tanky katana for attacking. We're gonna take the Phantasm off of T260 to boost the stats a little bit more, and we're also gonna put the Victory Rune.
Actually,
oh,
there is a last second donation that was not yet input. Blue, $85. Rouge, $70.
Okay, blue dies then.
Blue dies, and I promise
right.
that
Okay.
last up.
Debated.
Right.
We're
I
not
promise.
going Rouge. So all
So
the
let's make
equipment
the duel
comes off
interesting.
So yeah, you can explain this duel while Rouge curb stomps me.
Mm-hmm. So basically how this duel works is you're getting magic throughout the run, you're getting the opposite magic schools from Rouge, and Rouge is going to have the exact same stats as you, minus the LP stat. So basically you're killing your twin here, but at the end of the duel here, as we'll see in a second, that is not entirely the case. And yeah, we're being revived with a reviver there because we have to die.
Yeah, switched to using Implosion just because he kept using Psychic Prison, but... So yeah, Blue's
Another
dead,
thing
we are
there-
now Rouge.
Yeah. So basically what happened there is we kind of merged consciousness with Rouge because story reasons that we'll get to in a moment.
And with that merger comes a stat bonus because the two stats, which are magic related on the two characters, actually gets merged together. So you actually become a more powerful character than you were previously.
Rouge.
Yep, Rouge. So we're gonna do this first required fight with the robots because they're already set up.
From here, there's only 2 required fights in the remaster, thanks to the runaway feature. In the original, you'd have to fight a minimum of 4.
And here we're gonna do head empty, just run into everybody. In the original, you'd have to bait them and get them caught, so it's just a lot quicker to do that. So Phantasm, Shadow Dagger, we're going to set up Rouge now with everything we need for the final fight.
Getting ready to enter the abyss.
So Gale Blast, Tower. We need a bunch of spells for the final fight, so we're going to set them all up here. You get some fun text every time, or the first time you get enough to be a mastery, and the first time you fill up your spell list, you get this tutorial text in the remaster. So just gotta remember to cancel those because you can't input accept through those.
Fake goddess.
This fight we can't use the robots because there's a flying creature and the sand vessel only hits things on the ground, so this is the first fight we use Rouge for. Luckily we got just the move to take care of everything, Gale Blast. And you can see Rouge is very powerful now.
So basically what those guys are explaining there is we've been merged together with our twin brother to become the ultimate magician, knowing both schools of magic at the same time, which is otherwise impossible. And the purpose for that is to descend into the abyss, which was known as Hell in the original, to take it out and stop it from invading the rest of the world. But there's a catch to that we will see in a moment.
And this is Hell, of course. Actually, got the dodges randomly. Oh, then ran into a completely easy to dodge enemy. So yeah, this is the final area, so just a couple of more encounters to run away from. So now we're at the end. So we're going to try to do
BGG, they did not add all the cut content. There's a lot.
Would you be able to explain the end skip? You seem to know a bit more than me.
Yeah, so the way that Blue's scenario works is once you kill the Abyss Lord here, there's a giant The End screen that pops up because basically you're being sealed away in hell forever. But there is a way to skip that because there's a weird property about Power Grab that lets you just skip it entirely. It has something to do with the HP absorb and the stat debuff feature there, and it looks like we will be skipping the end here.
Nice. Did it. And I guess, would you be able to explain the overdrive glitch as well? It kind of went by real quick.
So basically,
actually,
the way that
before you do that, I'm going to explain what we're about to do real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not to interrupt you after I prompted you, but so as part of the remasters, you get the Fuse case files, which lets you play the case files of the characters that you've completed so far. It's a bit of additional content where you learn a bit more about the story. So because we've completed T260 and Blue, we have access to T260 and Blue. So we want Blue's scenario to come up twice, but it's a 50-50 coin flip. So we want to get lucky and just get Blue each time. So we got Blue first, so that's good. And the important thing is that you can get the fusion to happen, and because this is New Game Plus, the stats carry over. So with 2 additional case files, we're going to fuse Blue and Rouge together 3 times in total, which will give him max stats for magic. He'll have 250 JP and 99 wisdom, concentration, and psychic. So he'll just be uber powerful. So that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, you can explain overdrive.
Yeah, so the way that the infinite overdrive glitch works is you use the snake oil during the first turn of overdrive, and that removes the effect of overdrive that limits your WP and JP consumption, so you can actually consume WP and JP like normal while keeping those extra turns, meaning that tower can now do full damage. It means you can't spam tower, but it means you can actually do all your moves at full damage, so you can do crazy amounts of damage with that. The other way you can activate it is through the stasis rune, and that was the original way to do it before we discovered that you can circumvent that with just snake oil.
And yeah, like I once said, this is new to the remaster, the case files, so this thing I'm doing here wouldn't be possible. Well, also no New Game Plus wouldn't be possible on the original. So
Yeah.
that's the first of 2 fusions we need, so we're going to just restart and use the autosave feature to use the fusion we just got there and try to get another case file of blue. Try to get the coin flip twice.
While you're doing that, I'll explain Fuse a little bit here. So the way that Fuse works in the remaster is, as you see, we're getting case files here. There's one for each of the 7 other protagonists here. They unlock once you beat their respective scenario. Their plots are based off of the original plan for Fuse's story from 1997, 1996. And there are parts of it that are also based off of Fuse's crazy investigation log, which was part of an official guidebook called The Essence of SaGa Frontier, which is actually available right now for Kindle if you have a Japanese Amazon account. And I highly recommend picking that up. It's a really great guidebook. Actually, let me link this in chat real quick. There is a translation of the entire Essence of SaGa Frontier guidebook. I just put that link in chat if you want to check that out. It's really quite an amazing guide. It's got lots of good game information. It's got cut content in there. It's really neat.
Always get caught by that bird. All right, so actually got really lucky and won the coin flip twice, so we're going to get the fusions real quick here. So yeah, this will get Rouge to max stats, and Rouge is available for most of the remaining scenarios except Riki, so we'll be able to make good use of Rouge for the rest of the run. So just going to see the duel one more time here. And the donation incentive that has been met is to do a random case file at the end of this run, so we'll be doing 1 of 7. I'm just going to pick the option and go with whatever we get. And the case files mostly just have you fighting the final boss. I'll just reset here. So depending on the case file, it could be very difficult or very easy. The most difficult one is Loot, and the easiest one is Emilia. Oh wait, not Fuse. We want to do Asellus next. Not used to doing Fuse that quickly, because usually get to 260 a bunch of times. All right, so now we're going into Asellus. This would be a good time for donations since the start of this scenario was pretty slow. We're just going to be talking to a bunch of people, not much gameplay going on. So if there's any donations or
we do have one $25 donation from Arrakis Messiah saying, I wanted to support this great charity and event. Much love to all the runners and organizers. Less than 3. And we also have some great prizes. What we've got up through Valkyrie Profile 2 is an Ease Origin Steam Key, minimum donation $5. And a $5 minimum donation through Half Minute Hero 2 could get you the White Legacy 16 wired USB controller. Do ! Prizes to see more of the prizes available during the week. Go ahead and get those donations in for that.
All right, so this is a cell scenario. You start off as a regular girl with green hair. I don't think she had green hair previously, so a lot of confusion over where she is now. She got hit by a chariot in her neighborhood, and now she's kind of wandering around a mysterious castle to figure out what's going on. We just got stabbed, and we noticed we had purple blood, so also confused by that. And this explains that we're now half mystic, because after getting hit by the chariot, or Rouge, which is the mystic lord seen on the throne there, gave us his blood, and mystic blood is blue, so now red and blue combined to make purple. Pretty sure that's how colors work.
Yes, very much.
So now we're supposed to kind of the heir to Rouge at this point, so we're getting all dressed up as a proper mystic and getting taught what it's like to be a mystic by Ilden, and we're going to get White Rose here.
We stand Asellus x White Rose, by the way. We stand them.
Yeah, we got White Rose. They're supposed to teach us, but we're just going to ditch them immediately. They leave you alone if you go to your room, so we do that, then peace out. And we get a story trigger here where conniving Mystic chateau gives us the way to escape here, so we're going to take that. Talk to the pilot here. Yeah, chateau. The guy that stabbed us previously, no big deal. So before we escape, we're going to hit up White Rose for some money. Oh, I accidentally talked to this guy. No big deal, though.
Phallus, the reason for that line is mystics don't really have a defined gender. They have a gender presentation, but they don't really have a gender, per se.
So now we're going to go back to the LP shop. We're going to pick up a second Phantasm, which is cool that the Phantasms carry over, because the Phantasms give you +7 stats, and you can equip multiple of them, so it's a very good item. And also the Phantasm attack is very good. We'll pick that up, and then it's ready to escape. So slow down here. There's a bunch of enemies we want to dodge.
Another thing to mention here is that in the remaster, they did add a couple more ways to escape Chateau Aiguille. So if you want to pick up the remaster and find those other two escape methods, you might find out a little bit more about Asellus and maybe even Zosma.
And most people don't realize it, but the flowers in White Rose's hair are not her hair. It's just a really big... looks like a pink afro, but not quite.
I always thought it was an afro growing up.
It's more obvious with the remastered sprites. The remaster has all the redrawn sprites, which are really good looking.
Yeah, they did quite a good job with them. And they did a really good job with the AI upscaling of the backgrounds too. They look stellar.
Yeah, they look real good. There's one image that they couldn't do much with in Red Scenario, but they did their best. It looks really bad in the original, but it looks okay in this one, so...
Yeah.
Oh. 3 times
They did also go back through and actually manually redraw over things that looked not good.
So do a couple of dodges here. Gonna equip up. So the benefit of having two Phantasms is that we can have 2 people with the Phantasm attack now. So we're gonna.
I didn't know you could dodge that bird that way. That is good to know.
Yeah, sometimes you want to do it differently because you want to pick up the item there.
Yeah.
But we already have Tankstone, so we don't need to do that. Where's the blue elf? There it is. So because we have 2 Phantasms, we can just spam that on this fight. Make real quick work of the Devil Squid. We also equip the blue elf to Asellus so she can survive the wave attack. It's probably not necessary because she doesn't need to survive. Well, I guess she can get outsped by the Devil Squid, so she might not get her first attack off if she doesn't have the blue elf on, so it makes sense. Because the Devil Squid has around 3,000 HP, and Phantasm attacks deal around 1,000, so you need to get 3 of them off.
Yeah.
So now there are 3 sages after us, summoned by Chateau, so we got to do a bunch of story triggers to randomly proc them. Would you be able to explain that?
The sage fights, yeah. So the way that works is since we've escaped Chateau Aiguille, Rouge is very not pleased with that because, you know, we're his heir and his favorite arch princess. So he's trying to hunt us down here, and as you can see, we're scaring our aunt because we died 12 years ago and now suddenly we're back. Here's the Fire Sage, one of the Black Knights of Mystic Lord Rouge. We'll be fighting 4 of them throughout the run until we return to Chateau Aiguille.
So the way the scenario works is you need to get a random encounter and then hit hot zones to trigger the next sage fight. So we're going to take this encounter here, so now we can get the next sage fight. We're going to head to Luminous next, because, surprise, that's where Rouge is. And this is now Uber Rouge. So it has all the stats. So you can see
this is now Rouge's scenario, baby.
So we're going to unequip the Phantasms and put them on Rouge to buff him up even more. Mostly just to get his speed up is the main reason for buffing him up. Excel Shield to protect him from some attacks. And then a bunch of defensive wear. Charm necklace, actually going to use a wing amulet here. And we're also going to give him Tower, which is a move that does damage based on the amount of JP you have and your magic stats. And because we have max JP, you're about to see what Tower does to people. This guy has about 5,000 health or so, and we just did 46,000 damage.
Yeah, just casually, you know.
So no, that's the power of Uber Rouge.
Welcome to New Game Plus. Enjoy your stay.
So we gotta do another encounter here to be able to trigger the next sage fight, so I'll do this quickly. And that's why White Rose is in the second party, just to quickly... Oh, didn't need to do that. Forgot you had to enter the hot zone twice to trigger it. So yeah, another tower. Wabams. Next fight can actually kill you because Lion Princess is scary. She's super fast and does enough damage to one-shot Rouge. So we're going to throw White Rose back into the party just for an additional shield for Rouge.
The one saving grace of the Lion Princess fight is she is kind of a glass cannon. She has a low HP value compared to her damage output.
So do another fight so we can trigger the Lion Princess fight.
In the original, the Green Sage and the Lion Princess fights are huge resets points because they're highly dependent on RNG going your way.
And throw another tower. So yeah, that's... So we forgot to quick save, but that's fine because we have the autosave.
Thank goodness for autosaves.
Yeah, autosave is one of the best features of the remake.
Yeah.
Especially for the speedrun, in case you make a dumb mistake like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of times I just don't do quick save because the autosave exists. It's rare that you have to reload a quick save because you have a tower.
Yeah. I think the best one is the changes to the monster system. They made that so much easier to comprehend.
And this is actually a scene added to the remaster. They didn't have time to complete Asellus' scenario specifically, so they added a bunch of stuff, or a few things. There's some optional stuff you can do, and also that cutscene was added to kind of show that Rastaban got.
The devs have actually said if they had like 2 or 3 more days to finish up this game, Asellus' scenario would actually have been completed.
Nice.
But they just barely missed out.
Forgot to move White Rose to the other party, so I'm gonna do that after this.
With the remaster, though, his scenario is basically complete now. They added in some cut events, cut cutscenes, a few quests that we could do in a second here, but we won't because that's slow, and they're not really required.
Both the quests they added are cool. I did them as part of the casual. I actually never played this game casually before the remaster came out, so I spent a lot of time doing that, and remaster makes it a lot more accessible and had a lot of fun with it. There's also super bosses added as part of the fuse scenario, so that's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. But we'll talk more about that once we get to the case file and set it up at the end of this run.
And throw another tower.
We don't discuss loot, Dracorius. We do not discuss loot.
Oh, Loot's great. Got him. Loot's the best main character because you can switch him out of your main party.
Yeah. Loot is loot. We kind of just accept his existence and that's it.
And those are all the sages and Chateau dead, so we're about to head into the end game, but we have to do the Labyrinth first, so we're going to go to Yorkland to trigger that. Going to take a swamp fight here. Slightly dangerous fights, but we have autosave. Yeah, it's slightly dangerous because you can get comboed, but luckily that didn't kill. Combo is pretty much a guaranteed kill if you're against the wrong enemies.
Yeah.
Gotta scratch my throat. You talk for a little bit. So now we're in the maze. We gotta go through the right set of doors. Luckily, I know which doors to go through. We need to do this swamp fight because you need to do one single fight in between the event triggers for this scenario.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Right Rose is gone now. We have been split up from our girlfriend.
Yep,
She's gone. It's unfortunate.
But now it's
Rip
time
White
to go
Rose.
back to Fascinator.
We missed it because of the 3x speed there, but Zosma basically implies that Asellus is a little gaby in the closet. I think he literally tells her to come out with it.
Yeah, and one of the endings
Once White
make
Rose
it a bit more
disappears.
explicit.
Yeah. One of them will be, but we won't be seeing that.
All right, now we're back in Fascinator, the starting zone, and also the final area. Gonna come here to fight Rouge. A couple of fights before that, though. Gonna go in here to pick up items, mostly to help with the later scenarios. There's some really good items in this room. If you come here at the start of the game and try to pick up these rooms, or these items, they're too heavy for you at the time, so you can't carry them out of that room. But once you return, you can get them.
Yeah. With a Fuse's scenario, you can actually double up on them because he does visit that in Asellus' case file.
That room. Yeah.
Yeah. But only if you choose to view the ending cutscene. If you choose to skip it, then he won't get the stuff.
Oh, accidentally ran into this guy. We'll give him a tower.
Let's go open the window.
Oh, never mind. We're not giving him a tower.
Oh well.
So yeah, you're supposed to avoid that guy because you can't run away from him.
Yeah. That guy's important for one of the endings. He's blocking that window there that you open to unlock a room where Gina, the seamstress, is being held captive by one of Rouge's lackeys. Or rather, she's been transformed into one of Rouge's lackeys. So we go save her for one of the ending triggers.
So we're gonna equip up Zosma here. He needs to survive a very powerful attack in the final fight, so that's why we're equipping him up. So a couple of fights here, you know the drill though. As you saw in that one fight, there was a danger of Rouge dying like that. So that's why we quick save. He's a very glassy glass cannon.
Yeah.
It's kind of the general weakness of humans.
Yeah. Genestic, this does kind of have an FF2 style leveling system. Final Fantasy II and the entire SaGa series are directed by the same guy, Akitoshi Kawazu. So the systems there do kind of carry over. We kind of call Final Fantasy II SaGa 0 in the community.
So the one thing with towers is that does use all your JP up, so had to use some magic water there to recover some JP for the next fight.
Yeah.
And Rouge didn't get attacked, so another tower, insta-kill.
Let's go.
So the next fight's kind of interesting in how it works. Rouge has 3 phases, and he has to go through all 3 phases in order to be defeated. So we're actually going to do all the damage we need to do in the first turn, but we still have to do 2 more turns and hit him on the final turn. So that's why Zosma needs to survive. He's the most survivable character we have at the moment, so gonna keep him healed up and throw a tower on Rouge the first turn and then hit him once.
And in case you're wondering, we are going to be triggering the half mystic ending. The best ending, by the way.
That's the most reasonable ending.
Yeah.
Oh, they really don't like Rouge. Thank God for 3 times speed.
Yeah. They're aware of his raw power.
So yeah.
There we go. 3rd time's the charm.
So yeah. Hold on. You talk. My voice is gone.
Yeah. So we basically just killed Rouge there. But the way that his fight has been programmed, we do have to go through all 3 of his phases. So we're just going to be defending here, keeping everyone alive. Just hanging on until the 3rd turn here.
So yeah, we just need to do 1 attack in the 3rd turn. Unfortunately, it's the most powerful attack we have to survive, 3 mistresses. But Zosma's able to survive it and do the final hit.
Yeah.
So that's
wow,
Asellus'
also survives.
scenario
That's a
down.
surprise.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. She didn't even take much damage.
Yeah. Interesting.
So maybe Asellus is the best candidate for that. But anyways, so that's Asellus done. That's 3 out of 7 scenarios. Emilia's next. Going to be very similar. There's no real reason to do Emilia in this point, but there's no reason not to. We need to do Asellus at that point to get the 2nd Phantasm. It's really good to have for the rest of the scenarios. You don't get anything really important during the Emilia scenario, so we just do it now because just to get out of the way. And always use your system data so that we can get to the final air. Oh, my cat's pulling on my mic cord. Hold on.
Uh-oh. That's an important chord.
So speedrunning with cats is fun. Is basically what I'm
Yes.
doing. So we're in
That's some
Emilia's
extra
scenario
challenge.
here. We're in jail because our boyfriend got, and Fuse is like, it was obviously you. But what we learn in the case files is that Fuse is actually doing this for her protection while he investigates who really killed the cop. Her boyfriend and fiance. But he's still a jerk. He could have just taken him under protection without faking being a bad cop. So he just
There's
kind of
a reason why he's called Crazy Fuse. Let's just say that.
Just want to slow down that room just so don't accidentally run into something and get caught and get a game over.
Mm-hmm.
So going to speed up this room, but walk through it because it's a little bit tricky. So wait a second, then run up to get past that at full speed. And the benefit of having 2 Phantasms is that we can equip Annie and Liz with Phantasms for the Nidhegg fight.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do 3,000 damage for Nidhegg to run away, so we're going to do 3 attacks with the Phantasms.
Big, giant, gross centipede. Look at him.
So this fight's a lot easier.
One dead eye.
Phantasm. Defend with Liz because we only need to do 1 more attack, but the attacks would play out anyways because he runs away.
I have some words to say about Joker Kasumi. I'll get to them once we get to the final boss. Because believe it or not, there is still some content relating to Joker that is not in the remaster.
So now we're free from prison, so we're going to go back home. But then we got by Joker, but saved by whatever this dude's name is. What is he named? Rufus, yeah.
Rufus, yep.
So
runs the underground organization Gradius.
And he's like, join us or not, but we can't leave, so we have to join.
Oh yeah,
So first we gotta
also
do target
cube. Yep.
practice.
Mm-hmm.
So we just gotta defend a bunch for target practice to get through it quickly.
Fun fact about cube: it's never mentioned again for basically the entirety of this scenario, so that's cool.
I guess Diva's cube. I don't know how cube works. Oh, accidentally sped up too quick and got by all the birds, but that's fine.
Cube is Trinity's power source. It powers all of the regions, basically. It's from an ancient civilization that's, I believe, even before T260's time. It's where all their weapons come from and all that. They say it's stored in a Yorkland, but actually it's probably stored in Tartarus.
So the way this scenario works is that you have to pass time in between missions that you accept from Rufus. But target practice counts as passing time, so between each mission I'm just going to do target practice. So if you're wondering why I'm doing that, that's just a pass time so I can accept the next mission. So we need to cut in line here.
Oh.
Pretty easy with speed up because you don't really tell if you make a mistake. So we got
the original...
We're not quite instantly.
Yeah, Marshmallow. The original Game Boy line of games was marketed as the Final Fantasy Legend series in North America. In fact, they're available on Steam right now if you want to go grab them, called the Collection of SaGa Final Fantasy Legend.
Got.
Nice.
So that one room is kind of tricky. It seems especially tricky in the remake. I have no proof to say it, but I have a lot more trouble with it, where you have to hit that switch and then go down the stairs. Oh, you blocked
They kind of messed with the locations of those triggers a bit. I don't know what exactly they did, but they did mess with it.
So Phantasm makes quick work of everyone. He blocked one of the Phantasm attacks, so it took slightly longer than usual. So we're back at base, target practice to fast time. And this will basically be the rest of the scenario until we're ready for the final mission.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get Masked Rocky in the arena fight. That would have been funny.
So we can probably do some donations if there's any available.
We do have one available from SaGa Loverboy. $10. Saying, I love SaGa. I can't believe I see so many people watching my favorite game. Can we all say SaGa in chat for another $10 donation?
SaGa. I'm not in chat, but...
SaGa.
Currently no new donations, but if we do have time, I'd like to say more about why we're raising money today.
Go ahead.
Sure.
All right, so we are raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI operates a national helpline available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, which provides information, referrals, resources, and a compassionate, understanding, trained volunteer to support the caller. I know we've all been through quite a lot this past year and a half, and it is okay to ask for help. You can contact NAMI via their Facebook at NAMI, N-A-M-I, or on Twitter at NAMI Communicate. And remember, if you are going to be talking about our event, you can use the hashtag QFGHH2 and hashtag together 4MH. That is 4, the number 4.
Alright, so we're on our next mission. We're infiltrating the Trinity base for the first time. We're going to do this one more time. We're going to equip Emilia because she's alone, so she needs to be a bit survivable because there is a required fight here.
Darn, skipping out on the Asellus and White Rose recruit.
Yeah, we don't need the Mystics because there's a certain other gentleman we'll be recruiting. So, slight chance of dying here if turn order doesn't work out.
Oh yeah, you may
Or
notice
get
here
rid of
that
sleep.
Emilia did change outfits here. She also changed outfits back in Shingro. The way that that works is her different outfits that she can wear there change her spark table, which basically is like the list of moves that she can learn more easily. So it's best to kind of mess around with those costumes a bit to learn different moves with Emilia.
Almost
Seeing
died there
mentions
again
of did
because
they
of a
fix
combo.
it? Yeah. They did
Oh,
not
dear.
fix the weirdness with the costumes. Some of the costumes use weird unfinished spark tables that did not get fixed with the remaster, just because it would be a little bit too much of a time sink. And, you know, they had to put in Fuse's scenario, which required a lot of work.
So one more mission, we're going to go back to Trinity. And then we'll be ready for the final mission. But before we do the final mission, we'll do a little bit of prep work, because Emilia alone won't be able to beat the final boss. Can actually do this pretty quickly. The robots are pretty easy to dodge, so we're going to go at double speed.
Oh, baby.
Can do this section at triple speed, but it is a bit much. Now we go triple.
This is Mondo that we're talking to, by the way. He will be a very, very important character towards the end of this run.
Yeah, he's pretty much the super villain of the entire story. Kind of get more of that in Fuse's case file for loot. Alright, so one more mission to go. So before we do that, we're gonna go into the wrong place and then fly to Luminous, because our boy Rouge is here.
Oh, baby.
Gonna put him to party 2 because there's one required fight before the final boss, so want him alone. Take it by himself.
Fun fact, Juno, there is no real one good character for learning DSC. Just because each character has their own Spark talent list, and none of them have talent for all 4 moves for DSC, except for one character that we'll talk about after this run.
Alright, so we got our Uber Rouge, so it's time to go to the final area.
Forsaken Chapel. Let's go.
So this fight
Ooh,
can
slick
be
dodges.
single target or multiple, so we just have Rouge with Gale Blast to deal with whatever comes here. Just a little bit overpowered. 5,000 to everyone.
Just a teensy bit. Nothing
And
too
there is a way
crazy.
to avoid this lizard, but it's just faster to run at him. And hope for the best. Sometimes the RNG works out where you still are able to dodge him. So Rouge back in main party, and it's time for the Diva. Diva is one of the hardest fights in the speedruns for the individual scenarios in the original game, but the easiest fight, not quite the easiest fight, because Rouge can get killed before he casts. That's why the other 4 members are here. They're just here to take attacks in front of Rouge, because Diva does get a lot of attacks off before Rouge is able to do tower, so they're just here to take attacks for Rouge in his place. And there we go.
So fun fact about Diva here, she was not actually intended to be the final boss of Emilia's scenario. She was intended to be the second to final boss. She was going to be Joker's trump card, basically. And then after you defeat Diva, you would face Joker. But unfortunately, the developers didn't quite have enough time to implement Joker correctly, so they just made Diva the final boss.
Yeah, it is a bit
And we also
weird.
got the
It's like,
best
just
ending
like this
here.
thing.
We saved Ren from the clutches of the Joker mask. And now we are married. The end.
So red is next. So the reason to do red now is that we need 2 octopus boards for loot scenario and Riki scenario, octopus boards let our robots do Tiger Rampage, which is a very powerful physical attack. It's very important for Riki because you can recruit Rouge for Riki, so we need something else to do a lot of damage. And Loot's final boss is very complex, so Tower alone won't save us. So we need a bunch of stuff to be able to get through Loot's final boss, including Tower.
Yes.
So the first octopus board we're going to be getting is in the Black Ray, which is a required dungeon in this scenario. And there's a chance that one of the bosses in this scenario will also drop an octopus board, so we'll have the two we need. But otherwise, we can get one as part of a loot scenario by doing an optional quest for the Arcane magic. And we can get a octopus board that way. So ideally, we get the drop, but I think it's like a 25% chance of getting the drops, so we don't really count on it.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. You can also get it from the boss right after that boss, but it's an even rarer drop, so it's not worth hoping for that.
So red scenario is actually very similar to Emilia's. You're on this ship, and you talk to this guy to start the next mission. You're a
Captain
shipping
Hawk.
ship or carrier ship or something. So you go between the regions, which are like planets basically. And while we're doing this, we're gonna play at being a superhero because we've become Al Kaiser. So we're gonna
Super
do some equipment.
Sentai.
A couple of phantasms to boost our stats, and then Golden Lion is a very powerful sword that we got from Golden Lion, funnily enough, or Lion Princess. Power Belt to get a lot more strength, and Sand Vessel, which is good for multi-target attacks. So we're going to use Quicksand here. We're going to target the Pillbug first to kill it before the Putty Squad, because doing that skips going to the Black X dimension and the explanation of what the Black X dimension does if you let the Pillbug survive one turn after damaging it.
We'll be seeing the fourth dimension Magisphere later on in the run, but it's basically just a cool looking arena.
So next mission is in Shrike, and while the deliveries are happening, we're investigating some stuff, and the Putty Squad attacks us again. So give them the sand.
Just throw it in their eyes and then they'll run away. Easy.
And we learned something's going on at Say's tomb, so we head over there, and they're picking on a kid for some reason. So even though the Sphinx is on the ground, it counts as a flying type, so Quicksand doesn't actually affect it, but take out the Putty Squad with Quicksand and then switch to the Golden Lion to try to learn some sword skills. But didn't learn anything,
we'll be
that's
needing
fine.
that later.
With the setup we're going to be using, we don't need a sword skill, but it will make it more consistent and faster. So ideally we get something, but no big deal.
Gotta get that marathon safety.
So some of these missions you don't actually have to do anything because you're just picking up cargo. And here we learned that the cargo we picked up is supposed to be a bunch of purses, but it's actually a bunch of weapons being illegally transported. So we're gonna go to the shipper to see what's going on, and we end up running into Fuse, and Fuse pretends we're his sidekick so that we can come along with him. And so
Why did they rename those weapons too in the remaster? I always forget.
I can't remember. Paying attention to stuff.
Because in the original, it's called Bucci.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be fake Bucci.
It's quite funny.
So after talking to the shipper, our ship gets attacked by pirates. Basically, pirates sent by the person we just talked to. So we'll throw the sand at him again. Oh, we got a formation where we can't sand them both at the same time. So
darn.
That's fine. Just get him
Rip Rocky.
Twice. Yeah, the formation you get in that fight is somewhat random, so sometimes it'll take 2 turns. But Fuse saves us because he knew this was going to happen. So we're going to recruit the robot BJ. Oh, I messed that up, so I'm just going to load the autosave. There's a weird hitbox in this room where if you accidentally go too far to the right,
Left, technically, but right also. It's weird.
I'm gonna leave this room and come back in. I've never had this happen. We can take the fight if we have to, but
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you just hold down and you skip. I don't know why that was happening.
It's a weird hitbox.
Oh yeah, supposed to switch the golden line there, but it doesn't actually matter. So we fight this fight, then we enter to get BJ and K, our robot friend. So we're gonna throw some stuff on him.
Crime Fridge, we can't actually get the Magatama quite yet. We have to get it later on in the scenario because we're kind of on rails at the moment.
So do some equipping here. So light rifle is actually a very powerful attack and it goes super quick, so use that instead of laser. Usually you don't have the light rifle because we got that from the Asellus room at the end there. So we're gonna take the risky way where if we stop running for a second, oh wait, we gotta switch BJK to the first party and do that. So if we let go of the run button at all, we'll fly into space and die. So just gotta hold left and run and hope for the best.
You get kicked back to the title screen, which is really funny.
We'll try and get a sword skill off this guy. Knee split, that's not that great.
Knee split is a stun slash, right?
I think so, yeah. So we're gonna use quicksand to kill them all. If you let that fight go on too long, the flatter hooks will come back and it gets annoying, so
Yeah.
gotta wrap up that phase quickly. So that's that image actually looks okay. It looks really bad in the original. They did a lot of blurring to make it look okay.
Yeah.
Also, it's on screen for half a second in this, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Not yet. We gotta get BJK. That would be bad. So yeah, after that part of the story, everyone in your party leaves, so you have to re-recruit BJK there.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going around investigating Black X, since it's a secret organization we learned about and is also behind our father's death.
Basically that Shoozer guy that we fought in the beginning there. With the help of Al Carl.
So we see drugs turn a normal person into a ogre, so that's probably bad, so we're gonna chase after the drug dealer.
Gotta love the dare messaging from Red here.
Want to become an ogre, do drugs. If not, don't do it.
If you want to be a cool hero like Al Kaiser here, don't do it.
Couple of slime dodges, they're kind of annoying. And we thought we found him, but nope. He's mixed in with the crowd.
Dance party! Let's go!
So next mission is in Kyo, but we can just head right back. And next is Shingro, I believe, where we'll be going to the arena. You can fight in the arena, but it's faster just taking the sites. All you need to do here is witness Burva take on this succubus here. And then you see Klein, which is your father's former partner and member of Black X, up in the rafters, so you go chase after him. And
He's
it's the
basically
same
the head
section
honcho.
as the Emilia, where you run after the other dude, Joker.
Yep.
And let's see if I can do that room again. Nope. Nope. Oh, no. I swear they changed that room. There used to be a hitbox that stopped you from going too far. Oh yeah, defend. And can quicksand everyone here at the same time. And now we've gotten all the hints we need for Black X, and it's time to take them on ourselves, so we're going to leave the Cygnus crew to go investigate on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we have a robot with us, we can recruit Engineer Car. And we mostly need Engineer Car to do some absorbs during this scenario. It's not super important, but it does help with the later fights, because there's a lot of fights in sequence, so you can't just keep doing tower over and over again.
And also, Engineer Car is just fun.
True. So, red...
We got the 2 red shades here now.
Yeah, sure. We're about to get into a fight where we want to lose, so we're going to move everyone but red into the second party and also unequip red so that he'll die quickly. Wait, did I give the phantasms to the wrong person? No. Harmonium Earring is really good because it prevents sound-based attacks from hurting you. Our multi-target attack and our tower is all we need for Rouge. And it's back to Shingro, where the arena was.
Now time for Rouge shenanigans. Rouge is the Sentai hero now.
Yep. There's a new red in town. But first, red has to die. So yeah, we get hit by sleeping gas here, then these guys attack us. I didn't mean to transform. Is that gonna make this annoying?
Yeah, it will increase your HP.
How much HP do I got? Oh yeah,
let's 400.
Let's try that again. Usually you just die in the first turn, so I'm just kind of holding down circle.
Yeah.
Also helps that we have init data, so more health than usual.
Yeah.
So we get captured, and now we're in the secret lair of Burva, and we're gonna get tortured for information, but now we transform for realsies and hit them with the elemental focus.
Oh yeah. Fun fact, it actually is possible to dodge that encounter, but it is frame perfect.
Yeah, they run at you, so yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah. And in the original, it actually does turn you invisible, so it's actually best to take that encounter.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird.
I want to switch red and engineer car and move Doll out of the party, and also give red his equipment back. I keep thinking I want to hold left there. And there's a pill bug here, but we just take the fight. It takes too long to try to dodge him. Just kind of hope for the best.
Yeah. In the original game, you'd have to kind of pause buffer your way around him. That way you didn't take that extra encounter. Because this is also another scenario where you can hit rank 3.
So we have Rouge, so tower time.
Aw, yeah.
So you have to defeat the 4 divas of Black X to advance the plot. The first one, you can do them in any order. The first one we're doing is Burva. The first one you defeat, Al Kaiser learns Final Crusade from. Next, we're going to go to Manhattan, where we got that shipment of weapons to investigate that company again. Gonna switch
After casually exploding the palace, you know, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how that happened, but it happened. I think it makes more sense if you take the other entrance. I think there's like actual explosives there. There's a bunch of ways you can actually get that scenario to happen that way.
Yeah.
I did the much longer way in my casual. I was like, oh, I didn't know this existed. You actually fight Burvo first time before the actual fight.
I think it's technically supposed to be because of Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
With the satellite cannon or whatever it's called.
So we're going to take this fight, then use this gap to try to avoid this guy, but it failed. That's okay. So this is the famous CDC building where it has the stairs. The stairs are super hard in the original, and they're still hard, but you know, we have Runaway. So in the original, you would wait while the slimes were up and slowly advance when the slimes disappeared, but this we can just run at them and run away instantly.
Yeah, in the original, this whole sequence would take like 5-10 minutes. And it's extremely difficult. You have to focus the entire time.
Yeah, it's a hyper-focus section, especially not this screen, but the screen afterwards, where you have to avoid all the plants.
Yeah, that part is torture.
So I want to go down the... It's hard to tell, but they're spawning on 2 different corridors there, so you want to be in the corridor where they're not currently spawning.
Yep.
So next is the plants. So you just take the corridor with 2 plants instead of 3 and hope the ones on the other side don't punch you randomly. So the first corridor is the inner one for the 2, and then the next one's the outer corridor for the 2. So you just gotta make sure to line yourself up properly.
Yeah. In the original, you'd kind of have to weave your way in between them, and it's incredibly difficult.
So you can kind of stop their spawning if you move from one corridor to the next, because it switches what corridor it's spawning on. So you can kind of abuse that to stop them from spawning entirely. I mostly just hope for the best there, because you go so quick that you can't really effectively do that. So you take the long way around to avoid all of these encounters, and then we're going to switch Rouge back into the main party. Because it's Arachne fight. Before the Arachne fight, we have this fight here, so we're going to Gale Blast to take care of all of them. And now, while the lights are out, we transform, and she does likewise. Well, we got a tower for her. We climbed the tower, now we're giving her the tower. So that's Arachne down, that's 2 of the 4 divas.
Just a casual 33k damage, no big deal.
And the next diva we're going after is Chooser, where you have a solo fight with Red, so we're going to pick up the Vitality Rune for safety. Because the Vitality Rune gives you a passive heal every turn. So for a solo fight, that's really important. And while we're here, we're going to equip Final Crusade and Vitality Rune. And also switch Rouge to the third party. Oh, and also a feature of the remaster is you can skip the flying animations by just mashing, so you don't have to watch them play out.
Another feature there is those ship animations actually fully heal your party.
Oh yeah,
so inns are a thing of the past.
So this is one of the fights you want Rouge in Party 3 for, because it's back to Gale Blasting. And the Putty Squad just explodes. You can do these rooms at 3 times speed. It's kind of tricky, especially that one, because you got to move up slightly. So sometimes you get caught by the slime there. So avoid Talk Danny here to skip dialogue and avoid recruiting here. We're just gonna 3 times speed. There's a bunch of junk in this room, but it's really annoying to try to dodge these people, so you just kind of hope for the best.
Yeah.
Anytime it takes a lot of time to do a dodge at 1 time speed, it's just better to kind of run and Hope you get lucky with the runaway. It's not as punishing to get encounters.
Especially since running away doesn't increase your battle rank at all, which is nice.
Yeah. So this is another part of the game where there's bosses in sequence, so you have to recover some JP after using tower. So we're going to do that now. And also switch Rouge to party 3 because there's one forced group fight coming up here. So next up we got the Chooser fight after a couple screens, and I struggle to go up that board. So gotta remember to put Rouge back in party 1 because we need his spells for this fight. So Chooser has 2 phases. There's the group phase where we fight him as a party, and then he runs away after you do enough damage.
But not before shooting you in the face with some guns on a helicopter.
Yep. Just randomly a helicopter shows up to escape.
Yeah.
Now we're Alkaiser and it's solo fight time. So first we're going to do the Vitality rune to get our passive healing going. And then we're going to use the best moves we have with the Golden Lion. We're going to use regular attack and hope we... Yep, that's what we want. Twin Gales is perfect for sparking. And you can only get Twin Gales if you have 2 swords equipped, so that's another reason to have the Phantasms equipped.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Chooser just casually has your dad's brain inside of him.
Yeah, it just throws that
Just
out
casually.
there. Try to stop you from killing him, but
Yeah.
you get him anyways.
Does it for the greater good.
So if there's any donations, could be a good time to do that.
We actually do have some donations. First up, we have a $25 donation from Rye who says, "What's up, gamers?" And that $25 goes towards the half-minute Hero 2 Hero 3D mode, which is currently at $200 of the $250 total. We have another $25 donation from Kasumi Blue who says, "Sometimes I still can't believe this remaster is real. If this got a remaster, then anything is possible."
It's true.
And
And a
finally,
good remaster.
$10 from SaGa Loverboy who says, "Great job, chat. SaGa! As promised, another $10 donation. This is the first time I'm seeing this event. It looks amazing. Everything is very professional and impressive. You've earned a new fan. Thank you so much, SaGa Loverboy. You can keep up with Questing for Glory on Twitter at Twitter Questing for Glory, and the 4 is the 4. The 4 is the number 4. Pardon me."
Casually running into everything here.
Mm-hmm. After
That
we
one's actually
casually
kinda
set
hard.
up some bombs.
So one thing you gotta remember, Rouge back in main party. So this fight's important for later set because absorbing him, you get the Tiger program, which gives you Tiger Rampage. So that's the reason why we have Engineer Car as the first party member, so he's the first with the option to absorb, so we can just hold down circle to accept that. And yeah, the usual, just hit him with the tower.
Yup. We will be seeing Metal Black later, so don't think this is the end of him.
Yep, Scott wasn't even his final form. So we're back on the Cygnus. We got a call from the captain, and we got to infiltrate the Black Ray, and he has a costume, a Putty Squad costume for us for some reason.
Because he cares about us, obviously.
The wrong way. So you gotta go into a very specific sequence of doors here. So just gotta make sure I don't. If you go through the wrong doors, you run out of time and you'll game over.
There isn't a time limit, it's just staying away from Metal Black here for long enough to reach the base.
Right. And the encounters you get here you can't run away from, so that's why Rouge is in the third party.
Go Power Rangers.
Okay, not too bad. So before we exit, there's going to be a fight as soon as we exit, so I want to get all set up proper. Throw on the Tiger program and give... Okay, I did that already, so... They added a quick save for that room in this version. Couldn't do that before, I don't think.
You could in the... Oh wait, no, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because they didn't want you to quick save during that sequence because you could kind of get soft locked that way.
Yeah.
So we want to absorb the dragon program from this guy from Engineer Car. That gives us Maelstrom, which is a good multi-target attack, which we'll need for the Riki scenario. And this is the hardest dodges in the game. We're just going to run it. It takes so long to dodge them. But
Yeah. The reason why they're so hard is because there's like 50 enemies at once in these super duper tight corridors.
Yeah, we're just charge ahead.
Ignore them though.
Some of these rooms we're actually going to try. Like this room, we want to gather them all up.
Yeah.
There's one down there, but that's fine. Oh, didn't need to be on 3 times speed there. Probably ruined everything, but that's fine. In this room, the corridors are so tight that even at 1 times speed, it's pretty much impossible to dodge everything, so...
Yeah. I don't even think the task dodges anything here, or everything, excuse me. I'd have to watch it again, but I think it does actually get a few encounters.
So this room, we'll try and be a little skillful. Immediately fail being skillful, but that's fine. I want to feel live for a second.
Yeah.
Hit the hitbox or the confirm button on that. It's really hard to tell where you're supposed to hit on that switch.
Yeah.
Now we can speed it up again.
We need engineer car for Tiger program, which will be very, very useful for another scenario later down the road.
And also help with the final sequence of bosses here, but be very vital for Riki.
Yeah.
And for Rouge as well, yeah. That's pretty vital. And we find out our family is safe. We thought they were dead before. Get a low recovery for Rouge there. And slow down to avoid the slimes and lizard there.
Good old mom giving us some extra health.
Equip the Hyperion to help with the encounters here, because we can't rely on Tower because they're on a sequence and we don't get healed between fights until later on.
Black X.
Blast,
Why
so
is
we'll
it
just
Battle
use
1
Gale
music
Blast.
though?
Yeah, it's weird. This is the
A little
final
weird.
boss. Rouge got status affected, but we got other people to do damage, so it's not a big deal. So after Black
Good old
X,
stone
spoilers, you fight 3 of the 4 divas, all in a single fight. Hyperion only has 2 cartridges, so you can only shoot it twice. So we're going to be using Tiger Rampage plus Hyperion and all the other attacks, and then switch to Tower for the final diva.
Fortunately, they heal your party after that Black X fight.
Or they don't heal us after that, but they heal us after this fight. So that's the reason why we couldn't use Tower on Black X.
Yeah.
Because M Black we fight afterwards, and he's too honorable to fight us weak. So he chooses to heal us beforehand.
Good guy Metal Black.
2 of the 3 for the final one. With just classic Tower. And the next two fights, Rouge can die pretty easily. That's why we put the Final Crusade on red. It's an LP costing move that revives everyone else to full HP, or like 400 HP. So we'll be spamming that with red in case Rouge gets killed. And then as long as tower gets off, we'll be fine. And when Black Black 3 is defeated, his last thing he does is he heals us once again, so we get our JP back right after casting tower.
Yeah. Fun fact, in the Japanese version, Metal Black 3 is called Metal Alkaiser. Take that as you will.
And his final form is basically just Alkaiser, but
yeah,
with a black tint.
And now Boss X, the true leader of Black X.
And he's supposed to approach you during the fight, and it gets more dangerous as he approaches you, but you can just kill him while he's all the way back there, so makes his death animation kind of funny.
Yeah,
he's just mostly off screen.
Final boss, what's that?
Yep, this is a great category. Just spam tower.
Excellent
so the next
category.
Two scenarios aren't as simple for the final bosses. Riki is because you can't recruit Rouge, and Loot because the final boss is multi-phase. So it'll take slightly longer, but not much.
You may have missed it there with the 3x speed, but Captain Hawk did reveal there that he is Alcarl.
Yep, the original superhero that revived you at the start. So that's why he was all shady and gave you the uniform you need to sneak onto the Black Ray. So next up we got Loot, penultimate scenario. Loot's scenario is unique in that it's the most pure, I guess, in that you don't have to do anything before you have access to the final boss. You just have to talk to one person.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire scenario is about prepping for that final boss.
Yeah. Let's just say that development for Loot scenario was troubled. That's putting it very lightly.
Gives it a fun twist, though.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, yeah, fight not only a final boss, but arguably the toughest final boss in the game with no preparation.
Yep.
If you want.
It's always fun to see new people coming in to play Loot, and they're like, hey, I'm stuck on Loot's first boss, what do I do? Not realizing that is the final boss.
So first thing we do is pick up Rouge, then we're going to pick up T260 and May and Riki. You only recruit Riki here because in this scenario, you can only recruit May if you take Riki along. So then we grab T260. And then next we want to go to Shrek to pick up Engineer Car, which we can do now because we have T260 in our party. And gonna check real quick to see if we got another octopus drop. We did not, so we're gonna have to do the Arcane quest.
That'll be fun though.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. So in order to use Tiger Rampage as a robot, you need to have absorbed the Tiger program and equipped it, and you also need the octopus board equipped. And we get one as part of the Black Ray sequence, but we need one more. We could get it as a drop, but it's most likely that you'll need to do this side quest. So we'll do the side quest. You need to accept the Arcane quest to be able to talk to Fuse here, who knows where the shield card is, to go here. We don't actually care about the shield card, though. Riki Engineer Car, Rouge ENG, T260 to the top.
Yeah, canonically, Dragonlord, they do explain it as Loot just being so busy helping everyone else out there in Team 3 that he doesn't have time to do his own stuff. He was supposed to have a lot more stuff involved with Trinity, but that's a whole different conversation that I could talk for like an hour about.
So we'll put May up and then Rouge. Mostly just give the Rouge the same things every scenario, except we're going to give him the backpack as well here to do some additional curing. We actually didn't get a second harmonium drop, which is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna actually take that off her and give it to him though. Usually you get a second harmonium earring, so we're just gonna give her the charm necklace instead. Otherwise, or do we have the angel brooch? Does that carry over? I don't think that carries over. Oh, it does. Okay, give her that. So engineer car, warlord armor to buff physical attack, and electro to boost speed, as well as cyber suit. Then the octopus board to get access to tiger program. And same thing with T260 here. Want to boost his speed and attack. And we also want T260 and engineer cars speed to be very similar so that they will combo with each other with Tiger Rampage. So Rouge, we want Tower and Hide Rune. And we want Hide Behind on Mei-Ling. So that's most of the menuing we need to do for this scenario. Just set up everyone now. We have to do one more fight here against the Red Dragons. Luckily, Tower makes quick work of the Black Dragon, who otherwise takes quite a bit of time to kill. He has over 10k health.
Yeah.
Red Dragon's a bit easier to kill. And you do this room just because you need access to the octopus board over here.
It's also got some good swords in there, too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good items in there.
Yeah.
Oh, got caught.
In the individual scenario speedrun there, we actually have to go there for one of the swords.
Yeah, the Lord Star lets you buff your attack. So here we don't actually care about the quest, so we're just going to have loot get got. That cancels the quest, but doesn't count as game over.
He's going to try his best here and fail.
Yep, and that's all we'll see of loot in battle anyways. So to progress
claps in chat for loot here.
Talk to the captain. Now we can board the captain ship when we fly to Nelson. And for a while, I just thought this was called the Nelson, but then in my casual playthrough, I actually did go to Nelson. I was like, oh, there's an actual place to go.
It is, yeah.
It's where you make a lot of money if you have a lot of time on your hands, just burying gold between.
And the remaster doesn't take nearly as much time, fortunately.
Yeah. So now we learned about the secret base that Mondo has, so we're gonna go attack him. Luke doesn't really know what's going on, but he's here for the ride. Apparently Mondo killed his father. Well, we actually learn in Fuse's scenario that Mondo just took the fall for the father's death so that Mondo could become the leader of Trinity, but then he got corrupted by power.
Yep. And now he's trying to take over all the regions with his brand new mech that he stole from Mr. Nakajima, the Valkyrie project.
So now that we have that octopus board, we'll switch that on to T260 and give the captain a couple power cures so he can help in healing. So this is the final area for loot. 2 times speed up is good for these elevators because they take forever.
Yeah.
Then want to switch to 1 for enemy dodges.
Another thing to mention here that people probably aren't aware of is Mondo's base here is actually located in Wakatu. Mondo purposely destroyed Wakatu to hide his base there.
And Gen is a former member or citizen, that's the word, of Wakatu, so he has a personal grudge against Mondo.
Yeah.
They caught me at the bottom of the stairs.
It's the opposite Dragon Lord. Project Valkyrie is a transforming mech, which Mondo stole thanks to his console powers at Trinity. Zeke is something else entirely.
So now we're entering the Grand Mondo fight, the final boss of Loot Scenario. Has 5 phases. first two phases have a shared HP pool, and the final two phases have a shared HP pool, which will be more important for phase 4 and 5. It doesn't really matter for the first two phases. So for the first phase, we're going to make a heavy use of Tiger Rampage combos. And we're going to use Hide Behind to try and get more damage from the first Tiger Rampage combo here, but it missed. That's fine. Just might make another turn. We use the Hide Rune on Mei to make her untargetable, so that she can survive much later into the fight, and then Hide Rune on Rouge. Oh, that's her.
Another thing to mention here is every 5 turns, there's a random chance that the arena will either shoot you with some bullets, which is what you want, or hit you with some big giant metal claws that do quite a healthy amount of damage. So we're hoping for the bullets every 5 turns.
So we've done enough damage to go into phase 2, and we should do enough damage. Accidentally cast the Hide Rune again. Should be okay. Just that. So this should be it for phase 2, and then we'll be into phase 3, which only has 12,500 health. The problem with phase 3 is it has a shield, so Tiger Rampage has a big chance of getting blocked. So this is the real reason we need Hide Behind, because Hide Behind cannot be blocked. So as long as it combos with the Tiger Rampages, it bypasses his shielding. So we really hope.
Plus, it's just a good move for setting up combos in general, since it has fast trick.
May died from the Sonata because she didn't have the Harmonium earring because we only got one.
Ah, darn.
But then Tiger Rampage didn't get blocked anyway, so it didn't matter. So it's all good. So this is the phase we want to make use of Tower. Because the final 2 phases have a shared HP pool, this will do enough to exhaust that HP pool for both phases. However, phase 5 has a minimum health of 5,000, so we still have to do a decent amount of damage for the final turn, even though we've technically done enough damage to kill him. So we'll do one more Tiger Rampage combo, and
well, not yet. He has like 7,000 HP remaining now.
Yep, so now he's dead. Oh, did I not even do? I think the Tiger Rampage was So yeah, now he's dead.
There we go.
So that's loot
6
scenario
out of
done.
7.
And we only have one more to go. Unfortunately, the training wheels are now off. We cannot recruit Rouge for the final scenario.
It's time for monsters.
Do Riki last because we need the 2 octopus boards on T260 and engineer car to be able to do the strats for the final boss here.
Casually speaking here, Riki's scenario is both the easiest and the hardest scenario. Easiest because Riki's scenario actually just tells you where to go and what to do. Hardest because you have to deal with the monster system, which is not explained at all, and very few people actually understand.
And to make matters better, the monster system accidentally got changed in this version to not function quite the same. Which I was able to work out the math and all that to get it working the way we want it, but I've since forgotten what I did to get that working. So the simple thing is each move you absorb has a category where it can be a head, claw, body, stuff like that. And what combination of moves you have determines what form you take, as well as how much base health you have. So I was able to work out so that we get the desired forms just from one absorb by switching around the moves that we have. Well, I accidentally talked to him first, so it makes this cutscene play out a little bit differently.
Yeah, the way the monster system works out now is you can replace any move with the move that you're about to absorb. When you absorb in the original game, it would only replace the bottom slot, so now it's a lot more comprehensible. That and the game actually tells you now which move is which body part in the system, whereas in the original you kind of just had to guess.
So I accidentally talked to this guy, and now you have to actually recruit loot to be able to advance. Well, that's fine. How are we doing on time, by the way?
We are at 2 hours 8 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Might go a little bit over, but not too bad. I'll blame it on Blue and Rouge, even though that didn't take too much time. So we got a T260 most importantly here now, so we're gonna get them all properly equipped.
After this scenario, Phantom Horseman, we do have a fuse case file incentive that we're going to be doing.
Oop, didn't mean to still have 3 times speed there. Sometimes when you try to toggle it in between screens, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
But that's okay, we can run from fights here.
It's nice that you can run from those now. Makes this area
I kind of
much less
expected
annoying.
those to be forced. Oh yeah, we have loot. We're not supposed to have loot. That's fine.
He can do his best here.
Let's move him out of our party. So quicksand to quickly take care of the robots up in front, then we take care of Vulcan.
Oh yeah, another thing about robot monsters that I forgot to mention is they can't have every single kind of equipment equipped. They only have 4 equipment slots, and they can only equip accessories. So that's another shortcoming of monsters, where you have to manage your abilities more.
So because Tanzer is a required part of Riki, as soon as you try to fly somewhere, get caught by Tanzer.
This girl that we're talking to here is called Nomad. She's the leader of these thieves here. We actually saw her in a red scenario earlier. She's the leader of that pirate group that Cindy Campbell hired. And this other guy, the ponytail guy, is Faye On. He's the guy opposing her. And also Mei Ling's boyfriend.
So we talked to Fayon so he can show us the way to Nomad's hideout, because we learned that she has one of the rings, and the point of this scenario is to gather all the rings to rule them all. Oh, got caught on the ladder.
Ladders are tricky in this game.
And in general.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be seeing more of the ring plot in a second here.
So I can speed through most of these. So I'm gonna leave and re-enter just to clear out the hallway so I can have it at max speed in that cutscene without getting caught by a bunch of them.
Oh, I didn't know that clears them out. That's convenient.
Yeah. So next we have the Plata Hook fight. And I said the training wheels are off, but we do have Tiger Rampage on T260, so still do 7.5k damage right away.
They're just not as big.
Not doing 46k, you know, it's a bit different.
Yeah. Only 7k, you know.
And next we have Tanzer, that swallowing nomad, which is very gross looking.
Yeah. Well, that's his heart specifically there. You can actually see Nomad poking out there. It's quite funny.
And now that we've defeated the heart, Tanzer's about to blow up, so we got to get out of here. And Riki doesn't care, so he keeps trying to leave. But May's like, no!
Impatient little dog boy.
So next, since we're able to fly now, we're going to pick an engineer car for one last time. And we're going to pick up the 3 treasures here to get Say, who has one of the rings, but we're not going to get Say yet because we want... God, loot. You're going in other. That's not everything. We want some of the sacred treasures here for a fight coming up called the Magma Slime, a really annoying fight, which is made slightly less annoying with having our 2 robots here.
Yeah. The big problem with the Magma Slime fight is their attack deals LP damage directly, and there's 30 of them total that you have to kill, so it's super important that you adequately prepare for that fight and make sure all your people have big damaging moves that can kill all of them in one turn and also have enough LP to survive.
Oh yeah, we got Mech Sonata. That might actually be useful, but I'm not going to experiment.
I mean, you're getting the Magatama anyways, so...
Yeah, no reason to use it.
Yeah.
I guess just machine cannon this guy. Oh, that doesn't kill. One more should do it. Never mind. Fine, you get
I don't believe we
crossface.
are going to be changing Riki's form at all in this specific run, Juno.
We will change it to one different form
Okay.
near the end to help with the comboing. Oh, wrong.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna change it to the harpy looking thing. That's right.
Picked the wrong party there.
Oh well. I should probably talk about those 3 treasures there. Those 3 treasures are part of a traditional Japanese legend, the Mizukigami, the Magatama, and the Murakumo. I don't remember exactly what they represent, but they represent like specific heroic values.
Picked the wrong party again. That's I was like, maybe I can punch this up. Alas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Spirit Orb in here instead of Magatama,
Yeah.
which is probably a more literal translation.
Yeah. It's odd that they translated that, but not Murakumo and Mizukigami.
Yeah, it is weird, yeah. So next is Yorkland, where one of the rings are. There's a sickly girl, so we're going to save her and then get rewarded with the ring.
This was meant for more older audiences. It was rated T, both for the remaster and for the original game. I don't think it actually got a rating in Japan, though. Looking at my Japanese copy right now, and I don't see one. The original, anyways.
So for this fight, there's 2 phases. The first phase, if you defeat the Molosite, it actually runs away and have to do more for the quest. So you want to wait for the second phase, and so to save time, we'll use a Thieves Ring to hide everyone so that we can't be single targeted. So we can only use certain moves to speed it up a bit while we wait for phase 2 to start.
That is correct, all the swears. There are 4 races in this game. There's humans, there's mystics, there's mechs, and there's monsters, just like the Final Fantasy Legend games, which are SaGa games. They're the first 3 in the series.
Now we're entering phase 2, where it's going to eat the little girl, or try. We're going to stop him.
Fun facts about the little girl, she is Annie's sister.
Oh, really?
If you bring Annie to this fight, she kind of reveals that.
So because of all the strength downs, we weren't able to do the defeat in 1 turn, but able to do in 2.
Rated T for alcohol, more like rated T for Gen existing.
So you're supposed to talk to Dr. Nusakan to learn the trick with the phase 2 there, but that's why it shows his graphic, but we're able to figure it out ourselves through prior knowledge. Next we got Baccarat. There's a rich guy with a ring, so we're gonna get that from him. But in his safe, a rat has stolen the ring, so we have to chase the rat, or I guess it's a mouse.
Rat.
Slightly less annoying, and speed up, but also a lot harder to control because you gotta hit very specific parts to get the rat to run away.
Yeah. Zero, no way.
And now it
Rat's
jumps on the
cracked.
chandelier, and oh no!
This part we actually have to focus on now. It's no longer just running around. We have to kind of corner the mouse to catch it.
You're supposed to run throughout the caves to get the mouse, but if you do a specific movement there, it actually runs back to the entrance, so you can get them a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So next we're going to Manhattan, actually. So we got to go to the jewel shop here, and underneath Schemer Ring it says the Lord of Omi bought it, so we got our hint. So now we gotta. I don't want to talk to you. I kept pressing down, but it's still triggered.
Yeah, sometimes she just kind of decides her own thing.
So we learned the Lord of Omi has the ring, so we're going to Omi now. This will actually be the second time we see the Devil Squid. You have to fight him once in yourself. So we go here, but it's a trap.
Kasumi, I believe you can fight Gargantua in any scenario. This is the last scenario, Oblivion.
Oh. The Devil Squid, Tiger Rampage. So yeah, shouldn't be a trouble.
And now we can. And now we are home free to escape and get our hands on the fake Lord of Omi. We passed the real one earlier.
Yeah, he's mad about or sad about his mermaid leaving, so he no longer has the will to lord. And we got the ring.
Trying to text her, but she's leaving him on red. Poor guy.
No one lives there anymore.
He's the guy on the bridge there.
So now we're going to sneak into Despair because we heard a ring is here. So we got to get to the center of Despair to speak with the longest retained inmate, I guess. Supposedly has the ring.
He's been sentenced to prison for 1 million years. That is not a joke. Why? We don't know. We have to assume he did something extra bad to warrant that sentence. In fact, he's kind of been here for so long that he's now actually the warden of the prison, which is quite funny.
So here, if you accidentally jump off the cliff, it's really annoying, so gonna carefully walk up there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got combat boar. So we get the ring by finding the warden, even though he was like at the entrance anyways. But we impressed him by getting that far. So now we got to go to Mosperberg, where the main kind of story of the ring is, where Virgil has the final ring that you need to get, but you can only get his ring once you've got all the other ones and passed all of his challenges. So we're going to do some of them now, and then...
this is the final dungeon of Riki of sorts.
Yeah, basically. It's got a bunch of weird challenges in it. So we got the barrel room and then the maze room, where if you grab these cash bags in a certain sequence, it's fine. Every time you grab a cash bag, the slimes get quicker, so you gotta navigate the maze in a certain way where you don't get caught by the slimes. If you get caught, it's just a fight, so it's not a big deal. So next up
PTSD
is
time, I agree.
cha0stwitch, Engineer Car, Spirit Orb. Where's cha0stwitch? There you are. Phantasm times 2. So, benefit of doing this fight with robots is that the magma slimes... let me get it properly set up first. Defend, defend, defend. Wait. I think you're in the wrong position. Should be fine though. So each magma slime does magma touch, which does 1 LP damage. Robots have a lot of LP compared to any other race of monsters, so it's good to... Oh, I used the wrong move. I'm not supposed to use Mushroom. You're supposed to use him.
Fun fact about the magma slimes here, they were... when they were created, the developers literally didn't have any more room on the disk to create more monsters. So what they did was they took a big slime, they added a flame barrier to it, and they added some text at the beginning of the fight saying magma slimes, and that's all they did.
So yeah, you just need to sing and quicksand each turn to kill them all. It doesn't matter if the other 3 humans die, they're just kind of there. Not really for any reason, I guess. I guess there's a slight chance you'd take enough LP damage on the robots if they weren't there. But pretty unlikely. I think Engineer Car is actually somewhat able to die in this fight, because it has a bit lower LP than T260. But pretty safe with these. And another route, you have to rely on monsters, which infamously have really low LP. So it's a really bad thing to do.
Basically, with the monster version, you can only get targeted by each of these slimes like once per turn, or else you're gonna LP die. And then it takes like 5 million years to get back to where you were. Tajar, we'll be seeing 2nd Division at the end of this scenario here.
Very briefly. But
very briefly, but we'll
see it
stop
for a
by.
second. So yeah, Fei Long. Is that his actual name? Feon.
Feon, yeah.
His LP dead now, so he's all the way dead, but after flying in a ship, he'll be back in one piece, so it's not like other SaGa games where they're dead forever. Is that actually true in any SaGa games?
Romancing Saga 2, I think. But that's just because of the Emperor succession mechanic.
I see. So this is a high-low where you have to guess if the previous item is, or the next item is higher or lower in price than the previous one. This is high. We're getting a bunch of low ones, so that one's easy. High, low. I have a list that I'm looking at to check. This one's kind of tricky. Okay, that's low. Samurai sword, low, low, and that's that key. So now we're gonna leave Virgil's Manor to recover from the magma slime, and also get the 1 ring we still need to get from Sei's tomb here. Since we no longer need the Magatama after the magma slime fight, we can go ahead and recruit Sei.
And now would be a good time for any donations that you might have to read.
I do have some donations, thank you so much. We have one $36 donation from Untimely Doom that says, after going through a lot in the last 2 years, I have learned how much your mental health matters. I was lucky to find ways to pull myself out of dark places. Others may need more help. Let this money go to help them. And of course, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Health, is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, whose work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. And NAMI engages in federal advocacy and supports NAMI state organizations in their state-level advocacy efforts. Do you have time for a couple more donations?
Go ahead.
All right, we've got 3 anonymous donations. The first one is $20. Thank you so much, Anonymous. The second one is $25, no comment. And the third one is $5. And that goes towards naming Yuji in Half Minute Hero 2 Applesauce. Check out those incentives and bid wars. We have a lot of them coming up. Let me type in the chat here. that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Oh, I somehow died to that. Never seen that before.
Huh.
That's fine. So for this fight, we're taking a specific route so that we can absorb certain abilities. We want to absorb the Seed Vulcan specifically from the Living Musket for Riki so that he can get the transformation to... There's no musket in that fight, so we have to do it again. I thought the musket always spawned in that fight, actually.
I think it's a random chance, but it's a high chance. Probably just got unlucky.
There we go. So yeah, we get the Seed Cannon, which transforms him into that. That form's really good because it's very fast, which we'll need for the combos later on. So yeah, let's see if Engineer can survive this time. Oh, did they combo? That must have been what happened. Because usually robots are pretty tough, so it's hard to one-shot them, so I was really confused, and I wasn't really paying attention. Because it's kind of a gimme fight, usually. So also got to do the graveyard room over here. So the key in this room is buried in one of these plots randomly. So
yeah, you kind of just have to guess.
Each time you guess wrong, a skeleton spawns. So got it eventually. So what time are we at, by the way?
We are at 2.5 now.
Okay. So next we got the spike maze. It's
Oh, the spike maze.
Dumbest part of the game, where you have to know exactly where to walk here.
Normally you'd have to follow that girl there, but if you know the hitboxes, you can just walk your way through.
So yeah, there's a bunch of rectangular hitboxes, so you might think you're on the right path, and then randomly a corner will jut out and get you when you're not expecting it. So here, and then here. Okay.
I don't know if they changed the hitboxes for the remaster, Kasumi. They could have, but I don't know.
Much the same as far as I can tell. I'm gonna save here in case we get the wrong absorb.
I wouldn't expect them to change the hitboxes there.
So here we want to absorb Fang. Probably overkill there. Okay.
Just a little bit.
Oh, missed. I missed the button, so I had to fight this fight. Does the plant absorb? Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is the last queue room, and then we'll just add the final 2 fights, and we'll be good to go. It's a kind of silly room. Lucky you have a speed up to kind of make it go a bit quicker.
Makes it a bit more bearable.
So ideally you hit them, but if not, just gotta punch them.
Yeah. No biggie.
Yeah, this is the last fight for the key. So now we have the Virgil fight left.
The way the Virgil fight works is unique to Riki's scenario. Basically how it works is you're showing Virgil your best combos, since Virgil quite literally is the most powerful being in this entire universe. He literally cannot take damage. So you're kind of just entertaining him with masochism.
And the way combos work is real quick. Attacks have something they can combo into and something they can combo out of, like attribute-wise, so you got to know the attributes of each attack. And the way we're going to do this fight is we're going to use moves that all combo into and out of each other, with the exception of Riki's move, which only combos into the ability or the combo. So we need Riki to go first, and then the rest of them can go in any order they want, because no matter what the order, they'll all combo into each other. So we just need Riki to go first, essentially. And we need to do 2 5-level combos, so the first one was fine. So the way we change up the combo is use Tail and Tail Swipe, which both have the same properties, so we can use them to effectively do different combos that have the same attributes. For the second turn, he can actually do moves which will interrupt your combo. So instead we hide so that he'll just defend instead. And then the third turn he won't attack again, so we can do our second 5-stage combo.
Boring.
And he's bored of our... And we got the second 5 level. So that's Virgil done. There's only one fight left. So we'll be a little bit over, but I'm going to blame that on Rouge and Blue. Totally. It's all their fault. So we're going to do one last equip here. Going to change the
Ash
mirror
Media
to
in
Warlord.
chat there mentioned the combo history menu. It did exist in the Japanese version of the game, but due to limitations of the PlayStation 1's memory, they had to remove it from the American version because otherwise the text would overflow and crash the game.
Oh, weird. So
I
we're
know,
going
right?
to set up
Vic?
Engineer
SaGa
Card
working perfectly. Never heard of it.
Setting up T260 and Engineer Car with a bunch of Warlord's armor to improve their damage. Right, we don't have the Chris because we didn't pick that up. I guess I should put that in my notes. That's not a big deal though. So we get the setup. So we want T260 and Engineer Car to be very powerful physical attack wise and also very close in speed so that they combo with each other each turn. There's a lot of enemies in this fight, so it's really easy to get your combos interrupted, so we basically want them to have identical speed. And then we also want Sei to be somewhat powerful to kind of augment their damage and also potentially combo with them if he happens to go before them without any interruptions. So yeah, it's Tiger Rampage, Kusanagi, Guard. After 3 turns, this fight gets a lot harder because Mastering will run away, so we want to avoid that at all costs, so we need to do enough damage to kill Mastering within the first 3 turns. Luckily, we'll do all the damage we need in the first 2, so...
Nice.
No problem there, because Tiger Rampage with Octopus Board and full physical stats is pretty powerful. Okay, we're actually going to the 3rd turn because we got bad combos. So we actually go all the distance. Oh, I'm not that's why it's not working. I'm not targeting Mastering. So we're actually gonna... We can't go a marathon without failing the Mastering fight once. So because of all the enemies in that fight, I forgot you have to actually specifically target Mastering with Engineer Care.
Yeah.
I was wondering why the combos weren't happening. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Repeat of me at SaGa 2020.
Oh, we're good.
So the way that the Mastering fight works once the Mastering runs away is after X amount of random turns or once you kill one of the lackeys there, the entire lineup there will reshuffle and there's a chance that Mastering will come back. The longest I've gone without Mastering showing up is 7 turns. So it's definitely a gamble to keep going after the first 3 turns.
Yeah, you never want to... It's just a pain. So yeah, now Mastering is dead.
There we go.
So yeah, even if they don't combo, you still get enough damage typically to kill Mastering, but it's a lot faster if you get the combos because they kind of go into each other's animation. So that is every scenario. The time doesn't end yet. We stop time once we enter 2nd division, so just get ready for that.
After the system data screen, when the music starts playing. Big trumpet sound.
And we're just spreading around the rings that cursed everybody. Why not?
Making sure that they never do it again.
And that is time.
Let's go. This is 2nd division.
And what's our final time?
2:37:26.
That's good enough. So we do have one more incentive to do, so I'm gonna with SCCA. They did update the text, or did they not? I can't remember. Anyways, we're gonna
they did not update that text.
Gonna restart. So we're gonna do the incentive for Fuse's case file. We're gonna New Game Plus with the autosave, and we're gonna take whatever scenario we get because we've completed all 7. Fuse is going to pick one of the 7 characters to have a case file for, and we're going to do whichever one comes up. Lutz is the most involved because you have to fight Grand Mondo again. So low key. Okay, we're doing loot.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's actually not too bad. Oh, I forgot to
Fitting to top it off with the hardest one.
It was 1 in 7. I was like, no way is it going to be loot.
Smiley face.
So the one slightly hard thing with this case file is that unlike loot, Fuse cannot be taken out of your main party, so he has to be a part of the Grand Mondo fight. So, and he is the main character, so if he LP dies, then it's game over. But shouldn't be an issue for us. So we're gonna have to recruit some people first. We need T260. First we gotta fight with some punks here.
Trinity thugs.
I thought there was no way. Oh well, we're doing loot.
While we're here, I might as well talk about the final boss situation for Fuse's scenario. So the way it works is Fuse's final boss is just the final boss of the case file protagonist. So like if you're doing Loot's case file, it's Spriggan. If it's Emilia, it's Diva, yada yada. But before you fight the final boss, you have a chance to fight the other final bosses of the other protagonists that you've recruited during the case file. And beating them powers up the final boss for Fuse. And if you beat the other 6 final bosses, it'll kind of bring the final boss of the case file to its ultimate form. So its HP goes way through the roof, like into the 200,000s. Its defenses are basically maxed out. It's got extra phases. It's an all-out battle.
Yeah, I had to grind like mad to be able to take on all the bosses.
Yeah,
so it's not reasonable for a speedrun at the moment to take on the final battles for a multitude of reasons.
You essentially need to prepare a battle rank 9 party that can take out a final boss in a couple turns with extremely high defenses. That's how difficult they are.
But I beat them all casually, but still counts.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. It actually kind of makes you look at the game in a very unique way.
Yeah. Fuse does have a secret final boss, by the way, but we can talk about that later.
Oh yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the harmonium earring we don't have. I should probably find a way to get a second one guaranteed. Fuse. So yeah, just getting everyone equipped with the case files. You basically go straight to the final boss, so there's not much actual story. The one with the most story is Reds, because you actually do go through the 4 Diva fights, so it's the most involved of the bunch. Actually,
Lutz is the best one though, because it gives Loot an actual scenario.
Tiger Rampage on these 2, and Combat Mastery. So that should be everything we need. So now it's time to fight the final boss.
Go.
Oh wait, where do we... Oh yeah, we gotta go to Manhattan first. So we learned about
you may have seen
so yeah, it kind of
Ren.
connects all the different stories together.
Yeah. Earlier in IRP, you probably saw Ren there. Ren is a unique recruit to Fuse. He's a brand new character in the remaster.
Yeah, he's Emilia's fiance that dies at the start of her scenario, and it's
Yeah.
secretly Joker.
He's not a bad character to recruit, but he's also not the best character.
Let's get going.
Let's go. Yeah, you can see the protagonist there in the interview room.
So yeah, we're back here. Mondo kind of gives his motivations here about how Lute's father sacrificed his life so that he could take charge of Trinity and change it from inside. And then he kind of got corrupted and thought that the only way to bring peace to the regions is to rule with an iron fist, so we got to stop him. And we get the unique boss music here for Fuse's case files.
It's quite good.
So strategy is very similar to the regular loot scenario. We basically have the same setup, except we have this guy kicking around instead of Captain. So good old hide behind this, classic. Rarely seen in this carryover category, but very common in the standard SaGa Frontier runnings. So Fuse is mostly
especially
here
in
as a cure bot.
Asellus' scenario. Bye-bye, Fuse.
So we're on a countdown timer now because we gotta take him out before Fuse gets LP killed, but shouldn't be an issue.
Keyword is shouldn't, but this is SaGa.
Everything's gone well today. Yeah, no, okay, that's one, but that's fine. We're on to phase 3. Should only take one turn as long as hide behind and Tiger Rampage combo. Dang, we got Mexon at it again. We really need that Harmonium earring for Girl.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, that's the problem with not having hide behind, is that he has a chance of blocking. Okay, we're on to phase 4. Now it's time for the tower. So far so good with Lute's LP, shouldn't be an issue. Or Fuse's LP rather. So final phase. I am glad we got loot scenario, just slightly bothersome, since it's the only one where you could realistically get a game over. All right, we beat him.
Yeah.
So GG's, that's case file. And that's SaGa Frontier Remastered. One thing, show real quick, is once you complete the scenario here, you actually get access to, similar to Second Division, where you can talk to the developers of the original SaGa Frontier. You can talk to the developers of the remaster in the remaster dev room that you get after completing one of the case files.
There's also a secret final boss in there that unlocks once you defeat a true final boss. And it's even harder than a true final boss, so definitely prepare for that one if you plan on taking it on.
So yeah, this is the dev room. So yeah, that's going to be it for SaGa Frontier Remastered. This guy's like, you haven't beat all the bosses, come back when you have. So yeah, we're going to throw it on over to our host, and that'll be it for us.
Thank you so much. That was an absolutely amazing run. Thank you both Chaos and FFVD for showing us SaGa Frontier Remastered. And is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, shout out to the SaGa community. We got Bick, Highwinds, and the rest in the Discord, FFVD, Falcon, and the JP runners, Klops, and you probably know some of the other ones.
Clutchin, Achi, Yanagi, SK, Linda, all those people.
Yeah, so shouts to SaGas, and that's it for us, so see you next time.
Jeez. So coming up after a short intermission, we will have Valkyrie Profile 2 any percent RTA run by Casino Coin. There are no incentives for that. However, the game after that, Half Minute Hero 2, The Second Coming, any percent by Doe Wolf, you can name the characters for Half Minute Hero 2. You can name Yusha, you can name Yuja, you can name Yushia, and it is anybody's game at this point. So go ahead, donate, name those characters. It'll be fantastic. Also, there is a challenge for Half Minute Hero 2, Hero 3D mode. The goal is 250. We are currently at 200. I want to give another GG's to Chaos and FFVD for sharing SaGa Frontier Remastered. And after this intermission, once again, we will have Valkyrie Profile 2, run by Casino Coin. Stick around.